This is a How Is He podcast with Podge and Poppa, proudly sponsored by Ampifi. Power up your podcast. Let's kick it off.
Welcome to episode 58 of the How Is He podcast. Joined as always by my co-host Paul Poppa Dowling right here in the Ampifi Studio, right in the heart of Carlow Town, Poppa, who are sponsoring this episode. Ampifi, power
Magic.
up your podcast. There you are, sponsorship done.
What's wrong with the voice patch?
Just for
Power up your podcast.
my God. This week anyway, Poppa, it's a massive one, right?
Like there's
All we're
Barrow,
going to do,
Cohesion.
fuck me. Do you want to do the intro, do you? Do you want to do the intro? You may be tested, man. You may be tested for a few things, to be honest with you. STDs and all that. I'm only joking. No, this one's a big one. It's Leinster Junior Cup preview. We had the boys on from Kilkenny. 3 wise men in Kilkenny. Damien Raggett and the 2 Doyles.
3 legends.
3 legends is right.
And Demo.
That's wow.
Damien Raggett and 2 Doyles.
Yeah.
3.
Sorry,
and
that's
Demo.
Davy,
That's
Doyle
4.
and Graham Doyle we have in. So we're going to look at the Leinster final. That's all we're going to do today. It might be a bit mad. The boys are going to preview it with us. We'll stir the pot a little bit.
Why not?
A few ridiculous predictions. I just realised I wrote down an intro and I covered about 3 lines of it. But anyway, expect carnage, right? Boys, welcome back.
Cheers, lads.
For the
Thanks
best
for having
podcast,
us.
the carnage.
Second time.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Second
Fantastic.
time to have you on.
Love this man. Look at it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Podge.
You're an inspiration to every podcast from the country.
Podge?
Yeah.
Podcast.
It's his voice, isn't
I
it?
don't feel like we should start like this.
Start as you mean to go on.
Did you not get enough of Graham the last time?
I tell you what,
No.
Graham, your episode hit really well.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Lads were contacting me over and everything. Oh, I didn't know. I knew he played soccer with blah, blah, blah. I knew he was up in court. No, I'm only joking. No, it hit really well. You were very good. But tonight, it's about one thing and one thing only, Pop.
The big game on Sunday.
The big game on Sunday. It's in Bunclody.
Yeah.
That's where we'll start. Venue, what do you think?
I was down there the other day with school. Got beaten in penalties in the Leinster final. We played on the other pitch. And they were only starting to get the pitch ready, really. As the one thing I'll give it is it's accessible and there's loads of room for supporters. I'll
Is
give
it
that.
the pitch behind
the building?
Yeah,
they're
well, that's
on,
their main pitch then, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what I don't like about Bunclody? It's the road up to it. It's
Yeah.
first narrow and lane up to it, like, and I know it opens
But
up.
where do you play it? Like, I mean,
Well, it has to be a League of Ireland ground, doesn't it?
yeah.
The FAI Cup final at the
It-
weekend was in Turner's Cross.
Yeah, it should be in. It
It's
should
not.
be in.
It's not. No disrespect in Bunclody, but it's not a big enough.
No.
It's not a.
What would be wrong with
It's
going
not a
down
League of Ireland venue for a
Yeah.
proper game.
Go down to the RSC. What would be wrong with that?
Honest to God.
You know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. right?
Yeah.
We've had this on our podcast.
Listen, we're talking about.
Newbridge, yeah.
Newbridge
Yeah.
would have been, or
Is that Munster?
Athlone.
No, it's not geography fucking lesson we're doing.
I know.
That won't be a long way though, would it?
Yeah, but look, if you're looking at,
Would you
actually
been happy
getting
with
it into,
Ferry Carry?
no,
It's
I
an awful
wouldn't have
drive
been if
to
I
it,
was
isn't it?
a supporter. Like,
No.
it's-
No,
and the pitch is huge,
massive.
huge.
It's a massive.
I would have
pitch,
put it in the Prince, Dean Celtic's pitch.
Yeah.
I thought Prince or Critty Yard. I thought that's where
I
either of
think
them would have been.
the problem
I
was
just thought
Kilkenny
between
are
the two.
after having
Three
3 Leinster finals in
yeah,
Kilkenny.
in Kilkenny.
So I
In
think
Evergreen.
What level? Oh,
no,
girls.
one in
No,
Buckley.
Evergreen, and we played 2 at home. We played in Buckley. And
Oh,
we
traditionally,
played-
if your 3 Leinster finals were at home. All right,
no,
gotcha.
we played 2, and Evergreen played
Played
Sheriff
one.
in the Prince.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Is that where that Leinster final
That's where the
2016?
final was on, yeah.
So you know we'd be a bit unfair now. Bit Irish to get 4 and Carlow not get 1. Do you know,
No,
near home. I think that's the way they were looking. Maybe. Well, I think Bunclody will be okay, but looking at the surface on the second pitch, it was only okay. You know, so I'm hoping the main pitch. You know, with the weather we're getting up, they're watering it, and
Yeah.
you know,
Plenty of car parking space though. It's
That's
big,
a-
like,
that's a
big
big
old
thing, yeah.
area, like, and
I think the players will be at it and they don't give a fuck about the venue.
yeah.
That's the God's honest truth. And if they're worried about the venue, they won't
If
be
you're
at-
thinking
they're
about
not-
that,
they're not
then
thinking
I have
about the
a
right
problem.
things.
Sure, I would imagine.
Both sets of players will be at that
Yeah.
from the first minute.
I imagine both teams are going to train on it this week.
Yeah, you'd imagine
show.
so.
I would
Yeah.
imagine so.
would you?
Yeah, well, we did in Newbridge in, when was that, Graham? 99. 2 sessions up there before they played the final. And then we were in Buckley, and we didn't get much of a run-out, but we got a run-out in Buckley before we played Cherry Orchard in the final.
Was that
Do you
coming
look,
from?
do you look for an invitation for that, or did they
Yeah,
contact you
that's
that
what
you're,
I
it's
asked.
your right to training at once?
No, we looked.
Yeah.
We looked, yeah.
So, but
Good show, isn't it?
yeah,
Newbridge
but I
were
don't think
great.
I don't think it makes any difference though. It's probably purely psychological, right?
Well, the one thing I would do is that
Think?
generally when you go to a big game, and maybe lads who haven't been in a big game, they're looking at the dressing rooms. They're going, "Where's me mammy and daddy? Or where's the bar?" Where,
Yeah.
You know, if you go down one night or 2 nights. All that's put away, they're just in focusing. Now the older heads will be just in focusing
I
on the
look
game.
at it from a completely different point of view in regards of set pieces.
Yeah.
Who's on your set pieces? If New Walks is a smaller pitch or Free Group,
Yeah.
Evergreen's a smaller pitch.
Yeah.
Dean Kelly whips in the corners. I have to be a little bit more in the corner this time. It's a bigger pitch than
Bigger
New Walks
pitch,
or whatever
yeah.
it is. That's what I look at.
I don't
for.
think Dean has
set
any
pieces
problem.
would be crucial for me in that kind of thing.
Yeah. Dino could rip him from the next county.
That's
in
right. He could
fairness.
pass him Kildare the car. That wouldn't be bothering him.
I don't
Pass
think
out the train, he would.
don't even set pieces of matter, sure.
No, but
Sure, what if you have 3 or 4, like...
no, but delivery point, Podge. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you're too small, you're over hitting it, and if
Honest to God.
you know, you have to get your eye in. So the training would allow you to get used to
Just
that.
different thing, yeah.
I would imagine both teams will be down there this week.
Damien, is your
surprised if
microphone
they're
working? Is your microphone working, is it?
Not when he's on.
We only bring him in when you have something to say.
We do a few questions, right? We have a few customer questions.
Customer questions.
Big hair, Super Quinn. we have a few listener questions to go through. We have a few questions that'll get maybe a little bit deeper into it, right? So, for those who haven't seen much of Evergreen, lads, what can we expect? I know they've had a decent, good season. We're betting 2016 final, but where are they? Like, honestly,
There's no point us giving you away all the secrets now. You can find out for your fucking self. Not telling you that now.
There's a terrible attitude to have, isn't it?
Hang on.
yeah, turn off the
Tell you
microphone.
what,
Definitely.
He's warm, boys. It's warm.
Oh my God.
Hang on. Seriously, warm, boys.
What's this though? What's this?
It's tight. I've had it since I was young.
Yeah. He looks like a fucking Twister ice cream, doesn't he?
You're not fucking licking me. You can fuck off.
If he had red hair, no, wouldn't he?
No, honestly.
No, they're. I think they're very good. I think they're very good. They're organised, really organised. They're really hard to break down. Like
Concede many goals,
exceptionally
no?
No. They're really good on set pieces.
Yeah.
They're really good on set pieces. I wouldn't say they'd tear you asunder. Like, do you know what I mean?
Football and technical.
Like technically they play brilliant football, but they don't just go and go and go. They're very. What would you say?
Methodical.
Yeah, they're very
Beautiful
precise.
word.
They'll build it, and if they have to go back, they'll go back.
Yeah.
It's not a big thing to them to hold on to the
They're
cause.
Recycle.
Yeah.
But they play with wit, right?
They do, but it's the boys they'll play inverted as well. Like it's not. It depends on who starts outside, whether you
Yeah.
have Andrew Wall or Mikey Clifford, and then you have Drennan obviously kind of floating in the 10. But no, I think they're a really good side. Like they're
Will you be cocky?
yeah, they always have been though. I'm not saying that Evergreen would have always been
It doesn't matter who we're playing.
No, I don't think they'd like cocky is. They're like people say, "Oh, it's the wrong word," but look, it is. I don't think they're really concerned of who they're playing ever. They'll play the way they play, and
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
I think they bring a way of success, right? But it's a quite big step, and you know, for winning Leinsters,
Yeah.
like,
To get over the line on that day is massive.
but even go back, right? 8 in a row this year.
League in Kilkenny you can't count that in these.
On like in relation to probably the best ever setup they'll have, best ever wealth of players from all around the area, and they still haven't got a Leinster.
Yeah, well, my personal thing is Evergreen have to win it.
Yeah.
It's not a case of wanting to
Why
win
do you
it.
say that?
They have to, because we've got 3 and we have 3 underage ones. And this is what's driving them. And they'll tell you it's not, we're a big club. It drives them bananas that we have that many in our place. We were out doing an interview last night and Mikey Clifford said, we have to win one of these for a club our size.
Mikey Drennan.
Or Mikey Drennan. We have to win one. And that, they do have to win it. Where New Oak want to win it. I know they want to win it. Will it define them if they don't? I don't know. They'll turn around and go again. I don't know. But I
You
think...
don't get many chances at Leinster final.
No.
No, you don't.
It's like it's so hard to get there.
And New Walker on a long road as well. Like, you know, they've
They are.
had a lot of
Two
Leinster.
semi-final last year.
semi-finals.
You know.
And,
2 semi-finals in a row, is it?
Yeah.
And a final.
Not in a row, no. But
and in fairness, they got very badly done by Kilkenny referees in here about 3 years ago.
North
maybe.
End. Was
Yeah.
it the North End game?
They scored a perfectly good goal to get 1-1 to go into extra time, and it was flagged offside, and it was nowhere near offside.
Was it?
Yeah. Listen, I was down at it. The referee linesman got it wrong.
Who are you up for?
What you mean? No, I'm talking about getting here. Well, I'm kind of caught. I have 2 nephews on Evergreen, and my son is involved with New Oak, so...
Yeah.
Do you want the Evergreen jersey?
No, I never want that.
I'd say Evergreen have had better individuals previous years, kind of scattered around, but this is the best squad
bit like
that
Paris
they've
Saint-Germain.
had.
The superstars are gone, but it's a better team.
No,
Yeah.
they still have Mikey Drennan, who is,
Yeah.
but everything around him now works better.
Work harder for him,
Yeah,
to free him up, sort of.
it's, I think it's.
Is it a better squad than the one that got Ben the FEI Junior?
I think so. I tell you what they have got is if the front two aren't working,
Hard.
they just have straight two to swap and they know what to do when they swap them.
It's a good depth, right?
Yeah.
So like
Great-
if you're
great
taking
squad.
off Drenny and taking McQuillan, say, you're bringing in Andrew Wall and Grinny. We know what Andrew Wall is going to do. The lads Mark and Andrew Wall can know what he's going to do. It's not going to stop him
Andrew
doing
Wall
it.
used to play when you walked.
He did play with no walk. And then
Yeah.
Grinny will drop off in the little pockets. And if he gets a chance, he'll score. And that's just the reality of it. He will. It's who snuffs who out is really what I think is. This is going to be whose defence can go completely through the game without making a mistake. Because it's going to be that fine, I think.
I genuinely think that Newark have been overlooked. I don't think there's enough respect put on them. Lads. I made a statement here last week and I stand by it, and I'm saying Pat's the core. It's the best junior side that's ever played in this county.
Yeah.
And they're gone. I know they didn't win their league this year or last year, but they went and bet North End comfortably.
What I found about Newark when I saw him, I've seen him a couple of times, is they have a system, shall we say, but they play very free.
Yeah.
I would say the way they move. There was a goal. Dean Kelly got the first goal down in Craic Yard. You're going a long way to see a better team goal than that. I'm sure you know what he's like. He gets a free kick. That's you know.
Well, even if that's the thing, if whoever Evergreen have played this year, you'd wonder, have they played someone with the talent of Dean Kelly who can change a game? But one thing I think is very overlooked is the work rate that a lot of the New Oak boys have.
Yeah.
Especially like Lee Walker.
Fester.
You know,
Rayburn.
Rayburn, yeah.
The left full will not
Like,
get a second.
crazy, like hard work.
No, I know, and look,
Like that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. Lee Costello, the left back,
Yeah, he's a good
is
player.
having a fantastic season as well. And him up against Rayburn,
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
brilliant as well.
Then your centre field is going to be a great mix.
I don't think Evergreen let you play. I know we're saying have they been tested. I don't think they let you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What, as in full press or just
everything. The way they control the ball, the way you're constantly worried about them on set pieces. You're constantly worried about them. They have no problem going back to front. Like
Yeah.
No, they don't. No.
They've no issues.
Yeah.
It's not all
Go
about
along.
playing. They have no hassle. So you're constantly on your toes, constantly thinking. And people are saying, "Oh, they've won 8 in a row." Kenny, they have. But no matter what the opposition, you still have to go out and win it.
Very underrated centre midfield as well.
Yeah.
Iffy and Dean Carnally.
Yeah.
Like, Dean Carnally's, I've said it a couple of times on our one during the year, I think he's so overlooked in just
Massively
doing the
overlooked,
simple
yeah.
stuff, winning the ball back, 5-yard pass, but he's always there.
And you know,
to
for
break something down.
he's a giant of a man, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a
but he
big
actually
man, yeah.
plays lovely football. He plays like a
Right.
small man.
Yeah.
Gets it down, moves it. Now he's good in the air and all, but he moves the ball really, really well and knows his role in there.
Yeah, he's,
you know.
Yeah.
he's well able to dip into the box as well when it's
Oh, yeah.
needed, like
Yeah.
late runs and stuff like that. He's very good
Do you
at it.
think it'll come to a case of Mikey being man-marked and Dean being man-marked? Do you think both teams will
I
do
hope
that?
not.
Good question, Pop.
I hope not, because I want to see again.
Like, what was that game you talked about?
Well,
Was
can you
it-
man mark them too?
The Wexford game last year, Shamrock, was it Shamrock?
No,
Well,
not Shamrock.
That wasn't man marking. That was GBH. No, to be honest with you, 'cause the man was facing him and everything.
Yeah.
The ball when he was
was
facing.
the
Do you know what I mean?
semi-final
It was
last year.
disgraceful.
What's it?
Man,
They beat
follow-
this year?
Wexford boss.
Wexford Boss.
Wexford ball.
Didn't give him nothing.
Just
Yeah.
following around the whole pitch.
Yeah.
No,
For the whole game. He did 70 minutes, took him off and brought another lad.
Wexford
He
Boys
finished out
beat
the game.
Evergreen as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I just wondered, were both of them a bit kind of not off the ball, but like we were playing
Well,
Wexford Boys?
what I would say in that sense, I think that both sidelines are smart enough. Speaking from Newark, to see it happen last year, they're smart enough to do something. Like I remember saying to Gav,
Yeah.
well, you just drop Mountain to the right
Yeah. Take him out of
and
that
go
place.
2v2 in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just open it up a little bit.
The one thing I will say, I'll give them their due, is if Evergreen get up ahead of steam, it's going to be very hard to stop. If Newark aren't at it from the first whistle and Evergreen get playing and moving and their systems are working and the way they're playing is working, it's going to be very, very, very hard to stop.
Well, if both teams are up for the game, it's,
Yeah.
Like they have to, Newark will be up for the game, make no mistake about it.
But
They have winners
let's
and
be honest,
they
you're playing a
don't-
Carlow team. You know what I say about Kilkenny lads playing Carlow team.
Don't fight that cunt down here.
But what you're saying about
Tomorrow, look at him and more believing birth control.
about
Every
Mark,
mother had 8 goals if you got the right one.
it's but Mark and the two boys, like the thing with, I know I've seen Dean Kelly play. Like Dean is a fabulous player. But the thing is, you see Mikey a lot, and there's some games Mikey does not. The next thing, bang.
Yeah.
You know,
And he's
whereas,
prepared to
whereas
wait.
if other lads are not in the game, do they have it in the 90th minute? Whereas he can just float
they have
through
the
a
patience
game.
to kind of-
Yeah.
And next thing,
But a lot is done on Dean, lads. Newark's 2 fullbacks are outstanding.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you think of the keeper situation? What would your thoughts be on the goalkeeping situation at Newark?
Craig Carney's fantastic goalkeeper. No doubt.
You'd be happy with him?
Oh,
Brilliant goalkeeper. He's cool, likes the ball at his feet, and doesn't mind coming off the line.
Like,
that'll,
and
You know what I mean? Comes for corners as well.
that'll be the test.
Yeah. It's
But
just, can you time that right?
That's the-
Yeah.
And it'll be a test at the
Like I
other
said,
end as well.
like I said, in set piece, it's the size of the pitch as well. If it's put on the money, can the goalkeeper come and rescue you in a couple of situations, corners
Yeah.
or free kicks if you're 1 up or 1 down?
Yeah, well, we were lucky with him that in big games he'd
Like back
come and
break
catch
to
a
the-
corner
to the
and
hills,
it
yeah.
breaks the other team's heart. You know, when you come, when they come in and you couldn't even catch a door.
that
serious keeper,
that
man.
is a heartbreaker where the keeper does that.
yeah, it breaks your heart.
Especially if it's in that 5-minute window where they're turning the screw.
Yeah.
You know, if a corner goes in or a cross goes in and the keeper drops it straight away, his head is gone nearly.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, put that next ball straight in and
Let's
touch
get
it.
another corner.
Pressure.
You know what
That's
happens
what they
then?
do all around, don't they?
Yeah, and no, look, and especially in Bunclog.
How do you
and
feel at that when that happens?
when you drop it?
No, but the next one comes, the next one comes in.
but
How did you feel?
But you have to, it sounds
Yes.
terrible, but you have
Speak
to
slowly.
You have to just have a pair of balls.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you can do because
Yeah.
you can't catch the one that you dropped. You know,
But I think the bigger effect there is
It's-
if a keeper drops one, your back four all of a sudden are 5-10 yards deeper
they can be.
because they go into protection mode,
this-
and then
Yeah,
that opens the space then in front of them.
If you have a ball coming in and you know, no matter what, he's coming for it, he's taking it. You've no doubt in your mind.
I can defend from 20 yards up.
Well, even your wing back straight away are going, if that ball is coming in, he's catching that and I'm gone already and he's out to me and I'm away. You know, if it's...
I do. We'll touch on this a bit more, but I want to make a statement, right? I do think it's going to be one between the midfield 6. Both teams play the same shape, right? 4-3-3 or a variation of it.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that Newark's midfield 3 will be better than Evergreen's.
That's a big statement. I tell
And
you,
I'll
the
tell you
Evergreen
what-
midfield 3 are very good.
But I'll tell you how confident I am. The only one I know that will start for Newark is Dean. The other 2 I wouldn't be sure.
I can
Did
never
that-
name the
did-
team for you.
They've that much depth.
Yeah, they do have depth, but it's going to be
Who's James McGrath?
It's James McGrath and Keane Cleary. And Jordan will play as a false 9. That's what I think.
And what would you say now going into this week? I don't know. Like, when we were going in with him and all, our big fear as managers was, I was away for a couple of days and I was ringing every day. Were we training? Anyone get a knock? Anyone get a tweak? Is everybody 100%? This kind of thing.
Yeah,
So I'm sure
you didn't go away mid-season, did you?
Oh, no way.
You didn't go away mid-season and all they give it out to you. Go lads,
Yeah.
go away mid-season. Build up to a Leinster Junior Cup final and you went off for a few days.
I was a manager and I'm married. I talk about players that aren't married. There's different.
Checkmate.
There's
Like,
rules.
There is certainly
I just made them up.
and we were talking last night. You're married as well now, and you now know the rules as well. So you do. But who's a little niggle? Who'll keep their
Yeah.
heads? Like both sides have players that can, lose their head.
What are you doing training up to this week?
Nothing. We did not know. Corner set pieces, jog around.
It's only you get together, isn't
Yeah,
Even your
it's
set
only-
pieces, if your set pieces are not locked down at this stage of the season, and these 2 teams,
I was just
set
about to
pieces
say it.
is locked down, like
Yeah.
they're going so long. But someone who keeps getting overlooked, and I said it a few times at our one, is Iffy, that plays in the middle for Evergreen. Like it's non-stop.
Strange
It's
enough, talking to the
non-stop.
Evergreen
Box to box.
Talking
Yeah.
to the Evergreen boys last night, they said he's the worst trainer.
Yeah, they said he's shocking.
Yeah.
That's always
and you
the case,
see him
though.
in the game, he's just
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
unreal. He's everywhere.
So like the midfield 6,
work.
it is a big thing. But Newark, I presume Newark can't win that much without being fit and organised and well able to
and Newark
control
are
a
fit.
game.
yeah.
You know,
you-
that's
Like
you expect them to be proud of it.
everybody says about Dean's ability on the ball.
Yeah.
He plays every minute of every game.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
which is not easy.
I think he's
When,
kind of
when,
like
when he goes to the ground for a tackle, he doesn't lose it either.
yeah.
Like, he's a phenomenal human being.
Well,
Like,
to be
he's-
fair now, lads,
him and Mikey, he probably is. How old is Mikey?
29, 30, yeah.
29. Dino's about 26.
2 of them shouldn't be
They
playing junior
shouldn't be
football.
playing. They should be playing a higher level.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
about
do you know
it.
what it is though? On Dean's defence, we had Dean in the podcast and we said it to him, why aren't you playing higher level? And he said, you don't understand the higher level.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a case of, I'll go play higher level. Like,
Yeah.
It's
I remember-
hard.
I listened to him saying that actually. He said that the step up is.
so you play higher
and it
level.
is, yeah,
you play
it's
higher level. Like,
different, yeah.
You know, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm Lord and the
No, I
junior
did better
game.
level, but thanks for
Tell him about the B-team cup you won.
For someone like Dean, though, it's more restrictive for Dean the higher he goes. Because you know what Dean,
100%.
He plays free and all that. When you go up higher,
Yeah.
they don't want you doing that.
He's probably
roaming or,
overcoached, Graham. Probably been overcoached
Yeah.
or, overtaught,
You know,
and it's
yeah.
just like, let me do me.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got into a right club at that level, that was like, hey,
get
go
that
play,
bit of
man.
luck, but yeah, I don't think it. I think it comes down to the two centre halves on each side and the goalkeeper.
Wow.
I think because I think Evergreen are so good in both boxes.
Big call from Evergreen as well, changing.
I think-
Well, Tato got injured.
Yeah, the
He
goalkeeper
got injured actually. Was it against G or against Wexford? It was in Pat's ground anyway.
Probably against us the first night, was
It
it?
was the Oscar Trainer anyway.
The one we won.
Did you win
no,
one?
I'd say it was the one you lost. No, it was definitely the one you lost.
You won one down the Dermoters there, 2018. Remember that one?
No, I was away.
I wasn't born then. I'm only young.
was out with that in
yeah, but
fairness. Yeah,
that's
it
it. Like
He
Tato's
was out
back.
for a good
Tato's
while,
back
yeah.
now. Yeah, and Keane
So
is
there's a
still.
decision there to make.
Well,
No, I don't think there
think
is.
so. I think Keane has been in
I
for
think
the
the
last
young
while.
lad will
Yeah.
play Keane,
Oh, will he?
Yeah. No, I would be shocked if he doesn't. Like he's
If two of them are fit, who are you picking?
me personally. I'd pick Keane.
I'd pick Tato.
Yeah, I'd pick Keane. I think he's.
No, he's a goalkeeper, but I'd pick
he's
Tato.
six
Potato
foot-
might crumble though, but
He's 6'2". It's not a pick on him. He's
Big presence.
Big presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lovely
Is he
lad.
loud? Is he vocal?
He's getting there. He's
I'd
getting
say
He's only
there.
a chap, is he?
Yeah, he's only a chap. Yeah, he's only what 20.
21, 22?
Ah,
Yeah, around
he's-
that. Yeah,
23.
Yeah, he's only and very new to the game at that level. With Evergreen,
just go back to what the statement, Graham. Tell me about the centre halves. Why do you think centre halves going to have an impact?
because I think Evergreen's two centre halves, and especially Delaney, is so good in both boxes, defending and attacking, that if the two New York centre halves are not switched on, which obviously they are really good centre halves because they're winning so much, but if they're not focused, I think Lee Delaney has. I know it's Drennan and Dean,
Yeah.
but I think
I
Lee
think there's
Delaney.
more to the game than that.
I think Lee
100%,
Delaney is the
100%.
best centre half around in junior soccer.
Yeah, it's a good player.
Well, if you look at both sides coming from wide, quality of football, quality of balls delivered from both sides are really, really good. From both teams.
From
Yeah.
their fullbacks and their wide men.
Yeah, are very, very good. Then it's who gets the chance, and then if you have someone like, you have Lee Delaney, we mightn't hear him, but he's constantly pulling, step, hold, But then if you have Dotsy,
That's he's the same.
Dotsy's the same, but Dotsy is lightning, covering places.
He's such a good reader of the game.
But my whole thing is that Evergreen, we were out there the other day, their place is phenomenal. They feel they have to win it. And I think that will give them the edge. They have to win
I
it.
don't think it'll give them an edge. I think it'll create a kind of
Bit of pressure on.
niggly atmosphere. Yeah, like because let me tell you, like you can go in, they can go in thinking they're going to win and confident. They're not playing a broken pony, lads.
Oh, I know, but
No, do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, and for me, if I'm the manager of that Milwaukee side, I'm saying, let's do this in 5-minute windows.
yeah,
Let's play this in 5-minute
I can
windows.
see that, yeah.
Because they will get a chance.
Yeah.
110%.
They will, yeah.
But I don't think there'll be a host of chances. I'd love it to be an open game and nobody man-marked. I'd love it to be an open, free-flowing game. And I think there's a difference there that Newark are a little bit more free-playing. Evergreen play their systems with the runs and the laybacks and all that. I think it'd be a great game to watch. If you were a neutral, it'd be a phenomenal game to go to.
Yeah.
It really will be the top of junior football in the area by a mile.
Definitely,
And every other club, Carlow, Kilkenny, Waterford, wherever, should be looking and
I'd
going,
say it'll be absolutely packed.
this is where we need
the
to
weather
be.
as
lads.
well are giving, isn't it?
Like I tell you,
Brilliant. That'll be a
A big factor too.
big factor too.
What?
The weather.
The weather is a massive factor.
Oh, yeah.
If it's like this, like today, or they're saying 22, 23 degrees,
We
when
played-
you're in the middle of the pitch,
yeah.
you're up.
It'll be
three
tough.
more,
We played the
26.
semi-final against Willow. I think it was Willow Park or Peters Matlawn in Pats,
Two other good tough teams.
and we played them, and it was the warmest day ever.
Yeah.
I was
Half
doing
time, we
B-lists.
couldn't
What
wait
year
to
was
get
that?
into the shade.
Get into the dressing room.
No, get into the shades under the trees. We're laying
Yeah.
under the trees. It was cooking like a fucking sausage. It was.
Talking about the levels that, and if anybody in their clubs or in the Carlow and they have kids that are going to go through their schoolboys and into their junior club,
Yeah.
get them in the car,
Oh,
get
yeah.
down and watch.
Yeah.
We won the Leinster in 2008, and the thing in Freebooters was, with all them was, and I firmly believe, not the team I had, team before that, they had left an FAI behind them, without a shadow of a doubt. Myself and Sean went to look at a Leinster or an FAI semi-final, don't know where it was, but we went off in the car, and then I couldn't go in the end, and Sean was down with James Kelly, and I rang him. Was it?
Tramore, I think you went building sandcastles.
And this is the MO. I'll be dropping them back after.
You'll stop dropping down on me anyway.
But I rang Sean. It was an FAI Junior Cup semi-final or something, and we were trying to build to that level.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, how would we fare?" He said, "We're not within an ass's roar, them lads, yeah."
And where was that in your journey? 2008?
2008, yeah. So things didn't go well for us after we didn't get up there. But
You haven't won a league since.
no, we haven't. That's another story. That's another story.
Well, we'll get to that one.
Don't mention the war.
Talk about the leagues, lads. I know. You asked the question on your own podcast, Carlow, and Kilkenny, but let's focus on the leagues through the clubs that are going, right? So, Noah have won the league in Carlow 2 years now. When's the last time Evergreen didn't win the Kilkenny League?
2015.
Thomastown.
They've done 8 in a row there now, yeah.
And they did
But let's go from 2015 back to 2008.
Oh, yeah.
It's been Evergreen, Booters, and then Evergreen to 15, and then Evergreen
We
since.
won our last league in
outrageous.
2009-10, was it?
Yeah, 2009.
9-10. So they won 4, lost 1, won 8. So they were 12 out of the last 13.
That was the year we came second, right?
We should
You
let you
bet
win
us.
that one.
You bet us. Yeah, you bet us in the last. But anyway, but so that, like, do you think that
Actually, you should have got over the line that day.
we should have? Yeah, we threw it away. Yeah,
Yeah.
But look, such is life. We got one
That's
now.
what I'm saying. Like Sunday, you probably throw it away Sunday against the Kilkenny boys.
This is New York Evergreen, not Freebooters. Relax, lads. Next, come on, next chapter. Turn over the page there, bud.
No,
An episode reading in the ears there.
I don't think.
Yeah, I get burned walking through the door there, so I am.
I don't think it's Evergreen's problem that.
Yeah, no, I agree
They're-
100%. But you know
Well,
what?
I think that's the opposite, though. I think it's a stronger league in Carlow than it is in Kilkenny. And that's why,
yeah.
imagine a team like that as good as that New York team, haven't won the league. It's only 2 years, but it's 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Last year they went unbeaten in the league and didn't win the league.
I wouldn't have.
But how many
You know.
teams have you win the leagues? Like, it's not like you have 6 different league winners in the last 6 years.
Well, 3 different last 3
When
years.
Damien said it on our one, I would have straight away said no. You know, and I said this to you, you know.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, I think if you take Evergreen and the setup to have and put them into the Carlow League, they could go and be every bit as dominant. Not 8 in a row, but would be a really strong
305
force.
sort of this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I
know.
just think they're.
I introduced you to a lot more soccer outside freebooters. Like, there's more going on in the world.
Yeah, but when you're driving a Merc, do you really want to get into Fiesta? Like,
Yeah. Because if it brings you to other games,
yeah, okay,
you go
come
to
on.
that then.
Tell us all about your exploits in Division Z.
Well,
lads are at each other.
Laddie
popcorn,
popcorn,
like,
the same lad in love with lads in the 3rd division.
Yeah, but he's a fair player.
Yeah. Mr.
I
Shefflin.
don't know, you're
Sheffield,
fooling me now. You're
First
fooling
of
me.
all,
I was just saying that if Evergreen came in,
Oh yeah, like I was going to
they
say,
could
like,
be.
Yeah, but
well,
from a point of
I think
preparation.
if you get an off day in Carlow, you get punished.
Yeah.
I think Evergreen had one at the start of the year and drew with Thomastown. I think Thomastown got a goal in the last minute or something to equalise. But I think they could have had a lot more off days in the league in Kilkenny and got away with it. They could play different
a great
lads
point,
to get
yeah.
away with it. I don't think from
I don't think
seeing
you can, no.
what any games I saw through the Carlow League during the year, because I'd come up an odd time
Yeah,
and
but
watch games up here
If
as
you,
well. But
you can flip that scenario and say if they're having a better test, they'll just rise.
But
again.
that's why I'm trying to
You
say
know,
in
there is
relation to the team being prepared for this game. I think Noak had the better preparation
I think so
from,
too.
from
Yeah.
I
games
think
than Evergreen
Evergreen
did.
could have done with the game going back to our time. They could have done with the game against Freeboot Saturday night.
Absolutely.
They
But
should have.
Things are different. When we got
This
when,
freebooters or no freebooters?
No,
Any-
just Freebooters are there now.
when we got there many moons ago when we played
Yeah, I
it,
suppose you have a
we
point.
didn't have games before it. The first one that we thought were good, and we played Evergreen in a friendly. Like Billy Welch's team played us. Brilliant game the week before it.
Yeah.
And they thumped us. Best thing could have happened.
Yeah.
You went into the game then being, but I just think this Evergreen team are so used to their setup. They're so used to rolling through the league, rolling through they've been knocked out of cup this year and the Shield in Kilkenny. So
No, they won the Shield.
or not, and they were knocked out of both last year. You know, so
And they
it's
got
not
knocked out
like
of the
they're
cup this
winning.
year, yeah.
They're not winning
Everything.
trebles which they
But in
had from
fairness, Graham,
previous.
they were brought out to a forest.
I know, but we just they're just so used to their setup, their system. They're comfortable in their skin.
Yeah, but look, here's
You know,
New York have had 8 trophies out of 8.
yeah.
Then they picked up 2 the following year. They've won this year already. They're in the final of the Premier Cup.
Yeah.
They're in the final of the
That's a junior, yeah.
the final of Leinster and the semi-final of the Carlow Cup.
Yeah.
they're predominant winners as well.
Oh yeah,
You know?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what's
I
going to
wouldn't
make it a great
Like,
game.
yeah, you couldn't get
No,
two
but I
better
just
teams
don't
put
think
together now.
I don't think the weakness of the Kilkenny League is going to affect Evergreen as much as people would want to think.
Yeah.
Because the league is weak.
When
There's
we spoke to Evergreen
But it's
last
an
night.
exceptional group of players, you think?
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
the whole. It's not that they've found it or stumbled into it, because they've worked really hard at it. But now it just seems like everything is aligned.
Oh,
lads.
rookie
Can't you do a
early,
podcast?
but-
Answer that for the crack. Put my loudspeaker.
My brother, he just told me to go fuck off.
We're all thinking the same.
Yeah, I just think they're after.
I check mine.
No, I get you 100%, but I just think, say, in games where it's difficult, they have more experience of playing in games that are really difficult. I don't think. And if you talk about, I'm just talking about the league. Forget about the FAI Junior. Forget about the cups and all that crack.
Yeah.
Just in a week to week in your league, Noak have more difficult games to encounter, to get over than Evergreen do.
Yeah.
And that will have to
And
stand.
they actually have
Noak.
more games in their like Premier and Kilkenny is
Well,
7
sure,
teams.
7 teams. Yeah. And
But
there's-
that's all changing this year, and I give the league a shout out. They are working hard to rectify things. We haven't been quiet in pointing out a few things that need to be. Some of them have been cut out of the show, but there you go. That's another issue. But
Not having I said no. Or Graham. Or Johnny.
Yeah, you say nothing wrong ever.
Yeah.
You're perfect. Yeah, your wife loves you as well.
Perfect
Your wife
in
loves you,
every way.
doesn't she?
You're not-
No, I don't think so. But
Don't blame her.
I think there's a couple of teams coming into Kilkenny now that are going to push on. But Evergreen are now, they're way better. Their whole club is set up much better than anybody in the vicinity. They're streets ahead.
But is it not frustrating to look, like, say for instance, take Carlow, right? Hanover getting an AstroTurf, putting their ducks in line. Noak are developing, Pats are developing, Cohesion are developing, Burnceltic are developing, St Anne's, their junior team is gone, they're getting it back to developing in for an AstroTurf as well. Like, does it not frustrate you looking at Evergreen go so far away from the nearest club in relation to numbers,
Yeah.
in relation to coaching quality, in relation to setup? Like, why aren't the clubs saying, hey boys?
Well, we were out there last night and we were looking at it and we were saying, oh, they're miles ahead, but they're years ahead.
Years ahead.
Yeah. Like, because I was out at a cup semi-final there Saturday evening, and I was talking to a man as we were walking out who wouldn't be a major soccer man at all. His young lad is kind of a hurler and started playing this year, and he was like, Jesus, this is unreal here, isn't it? The whole lot. How long are they at this? And I had to think about it, and I said, well, when I was youths, I said 22 years ago, that was the first year we played there, so they're building that for 22 years.
Yeah.
But every year something has got better,
Yeah.
better, and it's still doing the same. Like, even after launching their lotto there, that they're going building the dressing rooms and everything as well. It's
Like,
unbelievable. The
I've
grass
been
pitch
off it.
we walked on
Yeah, it's
last
a
night
business,
out
isn't it?
there.
I've been off in the National League the
unbelievable.
last couple of
Isn't it?
years, and I would say Shamrock Rovers' biggest club in the country at the moment. Their training place there, it would be in the halfpenny place compared to what they have out there. Rovers
Rovers
compared to
Roadstone,
Evergreen,
like.
yeah, not
Yeah.
even close to what Evergreen have.
Yeah, I
not
know.
even close.
Been
You
on
go
loads
to
of times.
all over the country. You go to Cork City down there, use Bishopstown and all.
Yeah.
Not within an ass's roar of what's out there. So for me, if us and other teams don't do something, they're going to go so far ahead you're never going to catch them. And it has to be that people, like, I'm too old now, but people like when I was in there, hang on, they're a target, I want to get them.
Is it too late?
I don't think it's too late, but I would give it. The thing I'm wondering is, where are they going? They have a plan. They've always had a long-term plan. Where are they going?
Third tier?
They're not setting that up out there for junior football. If I was them,
Well, it's
I'd be-
too good probably for junior football, is it?
What is? They could go in National League now and have all the requirements for an academy, National League academy out there now.
Would they get ahead of CK, the third tier?
They would, with what they have out there to get ahead of, I would say, nearly every junior club in the country. It's phenomenal what they've done. And it galls me as a freebooters man to say it, but you have to take your hat off to them. And I was one of the problems in freebooters.
Yeah.
The boys wanted to leave. There was a movement to leave the Fair Green at one stage, and I was going, it's a historic home and all
It's
of your
tradition.
younger.
Yeah.
Stupid thing I'm saying. We should have left it.
Where were you looking to go?
Just out the road a little bit and do the same kind of thing. And we
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
go.
Yeah, but everyone is missing the point with them too. They Evergreen didn't do one or the other. Every other club in Kilkenny is doing one or the other. They're successful on the pitch,
Yeah,
but they have
yeah,
no
but-
setup. So we'll work on the setup, and the pitch
The football
success
goes down,
falls.
yeah.
It's happened in Booters. Comer went that way. Thomastown are that
Yeah.
way now. Evergreen never
Done
went
both.
down
I
while
took
they
the
were
right
building.
off the ball, yeah.
So it's their committee side was completely different than their footballing side.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is,
Double jobbing.
it's one or the other. We're either
That's
going
a
to build up
fantastic
this
point.
or we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So
You have to take your hat
that's,
off to them.
Yeah.
Like even the sponsorship they have out there is top class sponsorship. It's not the local butcher giving you a set of jerseys. Do you know what I mean? And no
Yeah.
disrespect to lads who do that, but their sponsorship is professional sponsorship. You drive in the gates, there's stewards car parking, there's a roundabout to get in and out. They have 2 AstroTurf pitches. They have a
Sand.
state-of-the-art grass pitch here, another one there. They're going to put up a lovely complex.
And people miss the point too on, they'll never get the credit they deserve, but it's the old lads that,
Yeah.
years ago when I started playing Evergreen, were in, like they played St. Kevin's in the Fair Green one day because they didn't have a pitch.
Didn't have a pitch.
Yeah.
But
You
they
know,
had 4
but they were.
Yeah.
But like
You
you
know.
see, you go out there and you go into the shop, and Mick Hennessy is the first one that you meet. Mick Hennessy used to drive out to Stonyford when Evergreen wanted to sign me at Youths and collect me. And I remember him bringing me to Clonmel.
Give you free videos as
everything,
well. He
the
used
whole
to
lot.
have a video
the
shop.
whole
Oh,
lot,
did he?
Yeah, he was giving you all the free
Chipping
videos.
a bar of
wasn't he?
sausage, that's what made it for me.
Typical. This is the first time you didn't get something for free and you're whinging about it.
Well,
You're getting
sure.
free stuff all your life.
Well, sure,
Look
I'm
at you.
doing all the work for you.
Who got a jacket outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time you didn't get something.
At least it doesn't fit him. I don't mind about
It
that.
does
now.
fit me.
Doesn't
And,
zip up.
and
It's
when we're back
supposed to zip
down
up.
next year,
There's a
lads,
stretchy zip in that one.
it does fit me.
He thought there was a parachute in the back of it. He was so tight.
You need a parachute going home.
Yeah, we went
Are you
down.
driving?
You'll be running behind that.
I'm just going to close the book. I'm just going to
Yeah, we're
stand
gone
there
on
and
a
observe.
tangent there, wherever we went
It's
there,
brilliant. Yeah, I love
But
when it
anyway,
goes on
back to
tangents.
yeah, Evergreen will win Sunday.
Wow.
They will. They're primed to win. Everything.
Well, you
everything.
Now that's coming from the Kilkenny League looking in.
Slow down now.
They've been aiming towards that.
Now, can I ask you two
No,
a
no,
question?
hold on a second.
Just
No,
before
no.
we go with this. You're a Hanover man. You're a Pats man.
Yeah.
Do you genuinely want New Walk to win?
Yeah.
Of course, 100%.
Do you? Okay.
I think it's great. I think it'd be great for Carlow
Do I
Soccer.
genuinely want Evergreen to win? Me in my heart, no. Because I
I know-
don't like them.
I know
But I
lads-
want them to win because I have massive respect for them.
I know lads in my club
Is
that
that fair
don't want
enough?
Newark to win. And I get that as well. Like, I'm
You know,
sure there is
It'd be
people.
great for Kilkenny Soccer if they
My
do.
opinion on that is, if I'm playing New Walk in the morning, I want to hammer them.
Yeah.
But if New Walk go outside of Carlow, if they're representing Carlow now, now I have my Carlow hat on.
Come on.
That's it, end of story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I just,
Yeah, because it is up in
and when they
Kilkenny.
win, I can't wait for your apology.
Yeah. But exact same, I could look at them all at the weekend. Like,
Well, we send it down by carry your pigeon, will it?
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Look, I wouldn't.
I can see it. I
wouldn't
can
cost me
see
a
it.
thought one
I
way or
don't
the other.
think this New Walk team panics. I think
Not
they
really,
do
no.
situations properly.
I can see a sponsor. I can see a
Come out,
sponsored
come
golf
out.
challenge between us lads.
come out.
We're
You
not
bring it
involved in
around.
it. Do you know what I mean? You're not. So to me, like, if Evergreen win it, I'd be delighted for the two nephews. And
See, I'm
there'll
very
be
caught now.
there'll be lads out in Evergreen that are out there years that like.
They burn you.
Yeah, but you'd be saying like Jesus, like Mick Hennessy we're talking about,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's lads in Newark that
Jim
are there
Crow
years.
out there.
Peter
Yeah.
Hennebury.
If they get it, how
They
could you
deserve
say?
it. No, they deserve
Oh,
it.
you don't. You know, no, I wouldn't begrudge them at all. Like,
No, and the reason a lot of people like him, don't like him is because they've won so much.
Yeah, I hope both teams play
Absolutely.
really well.
That's life.
And let the best team
That's
win.
Is it
terrible,
finished
yeah.
on the
That's the
day
mentality.
or is it a
Yeah.
replay?
I'm not sure of that.
Finish
No,
on
it's
the day,
finishing
I
on
think.
the day.
finish on the day, yeah, no. it's
I
finished on the
tell
day.
you what it means, to just go back to what you're saying, what it means to Carlow Soccer, right?
Yeah.
It makes it realistic for us.
In what way?
In that, likes of Hanover, I know Craic got there before,
Yeah.
but there's a second team in Cardiff getting there. St. Pat's got bet in a quarter final this year.
Yeah.
Hanover got bet in a semi final. So, likes of a Cohesion, a Burn Celtic,
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going, yeah.
whoever, Bagnallstown, it makes it realistic for them to say, this isn't miles away, lads.
Yeah. See,
You can
that's
get
why-
there yourself.
And the killer is because the gap from Newark to the bottom team in Carlow is a quite a lot closer
Yeah,
from the gap between Evergreen
Yeah,
and the
that's
bottom
what I was
team.
going to say.
Kilkenny.
Like teams in Kilkenny are looking at it going, maybe Bridge United are thinking we might come close to him, we might catch him, but
Well, the
It's
bet
no
is
one
in the
else-
Calm.
no
It's
one
like
else
2 mile
is.
down there. It's like non-competitive, isn't it, when there's someone against it?
Yes, there's no point.
It is like it's-
Well, the thing about it is, and I always said about, I can only talk about ourselves, is that we didn't go out hoping to win. We went out, we're going to win. Now, we get bet, but we focused on, listen, we're going to win today. Now the problem is clubs are in the Premier Division are hoping to win it. And there's a difference between wanting to win it and trying to win it and hoping to win it.
Be
There's a
hoping to
big-
field the team, never
There's a
mind win
big
it.
difference between that.
I
So every
think-
competition we went into, we were
Yeah,
going,
I
we're
think
going
you
to
walk learn from last year in regards of the
they got beaten in the semi-final, but the reason they got beaten is because 3 players were missing from suspensions, from red cards in the previous game, and it was the 2 centre halves.
Do you think on a hot day now
and
will
Lee
the holder?
Walker? And now this year, I know James McGrath got sent off and they played Wexford Boys again, 10-15 minutes in, but they dug in and got the shift on with 10 men against Wexford Boys down there again, and they know they're like, if we're going to be ill-disciplined, it's going to cost us. If we keep everybody in the field and we're at it, we could beat anybody in the country. And I think we have to learn from that.
So you're looking at the 2 management structures, right?
Yeah.
Would you think the New Walk side are better than the Evergreen side? Would you reckon in say game management, the way they're going to approach it? Would you think like there's Gavin and there's
Gavin, Eric McCormack, Eddie Shaw, Ham does there, and Glenn Sweeney used to be with them as well.
Yeah, I only heard Slick was involved.
Slick is involved with them.
Played with Kilkenny City.
Slick does the warm up, and
he met him in. Where was it? Shelton Abbey, was it? Is that where you went?
You don't even know where that is, really. Stop.
Yeah.
John McGrath left.
Cheltenham Abbey, he's in.
Slick went in. He's playing with the 35s as well.
You know what? It's a very hard thing to call because you can only judge a manager or management team live, I think, when you're watching a game.
I think Evergreen now with Johnny Dunleavy and with Craig Wall in it as well, I think they're after adding some serious balls to their string with the 2 lads.
I can tell you this from being involved with Gavin and the Oscar trainers, the respect them players have for that man.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my God.
He's a lovely fella though.
He's a gentleman.
It's hard not to like him.
Goalkeeper Graham, as you said,
He's
a nice
fella.
Graham mentioned him in his
But he's a winner as well.
He's a winner.
But Gary Maher's a gentleman.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's not.
He's
but
a lovely
I'm
fella.
saying when you walk into them, he's like a legend in your walk club.
Is he?
He's like.
He's a bit like them
let's not go
in Division 3.
There's outfield players. Davy Walker, but brilliant outfield player. Do you know what I mean? These kind of players. Dean Kelly. We're talking about a goalkeeper. And sometimes you don't get the respect.
No.
He was a brilliant footballer.
Right, just say Sunday.
Hang on now. You're hardly slagging me and you never played above the 1st Division. And I'm not talking about League of Ireland
Probably
1st
don't
Division.
drink of water.
First Division
Putchie now on, not water.
Kilkenny.
I played 5 games for our A team, scored 6 goals, and they got scared.
5 games.
And they
That was
got,
on pre-season.
and I
friendlies.
scored 6. They got afraid. They said, "Jeez, we can't bring him up." We loved said all the boys.
Mad that he was the only one there.
If it goes wrong
Charlie
for
Chaplin was referee.
Dino is not having a good game, or Mikey has a good game, will they have the balls to take him off?
Dino will not leave the field unless he's injured.
And I don't think
Mikey
he
will be the
takes
same.
Drennan off either. No matter what.
Because that is a ridiculous move from a manager.
Yeah, both of them
If I'm
are.
managing that team and I'm going,
It's a ridiculous
there's
statement to make
there's
anyway.
players on the
Why?
field not coming off. There's certain players in the field
Yeah.
won't come off.
But what if he's having a bad game?
Yeah,
Lose
doesn't
the
matter.
plot.
Both of them
He's a
are
touch
a
of
touch
magic.
of magic in the 90th minutes.
There's one rule that was said to me years and years ago when I started coaching and managing. If you have magic on the pitch and you're up against it, he's the last person you take
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, that was the mantra I was played by. Yeah.
They for the managers, you're talking about the managers. The one thing I'd say,
Paul Daniels' book said,
well, I would have always said today, even Grinny and all the Evergreen lads, for the last 5 or 6 years, they've been trying hard to go winning these. They could never get over away games. That's what killed Evergreen.
Yeah.
Like Wexford Bows, or when they'd lose, when they were going away to a team, you'd say, they're going away, I don't know if they'll have it if things don't go well, whether they'll get over the line. This year they've done that.
Oh,
They've
been
gone away
everywhere, yeah.
and
They've grinded them.
They've ground out wins, and
It
which
was-
is not
it's
not something they've ever had to do in local. So when they were going away, I'd always say, look, I don't think they'll go over them, because like if this 2 years ago, if this game had been in a walk, I would be saying, if that gets feisty and all, I don't think Evergreen will mentally have it.
Right.
Whereas now I wouldn't say that. Like no matter where they were going, I'd say they'll have
I
a
think
chance.
they've
I
learned
think
from it.
Dean-
They
I
don't
think,
let things bother
your
them
man
anymore.
Mikey will listen to when he's on the podcast here, that he will learn from what the Sheriff boys did to him.
yeah.
Tunnel.
Yeah.
100%.
And someone is going to lay something on him in the first 5 minutes.
seen
Let's be
Gavin
honest,
by the
if you
Super
were-
Soaker
don't
there
get a chance, you're
and
going to
yeah,
lace him, ain't
you're
you?
going to chance. Yeah.
Don't you know? If your first 5 minutes, you're going to lace him.
Yeah.
And someone will do the same to Dean Kelly.
Yeah.
And there'll be no reaction on none of them.
But
No.
there's
But
amazing
there is
John,
other players in the field.
but there's amazing John Rock at the time knew to do that
There
though.
is, yeah.
Wasn't John
Son
Rock?
Rock.
No, it wasn't the centre half, wasn't it?
I was John Rock on it too.
Striker, yeah.
Wasn't
John
it?
Rock.
No, I thought you said it was centre half.
Was
I
it?
thought
Yeah,
you said centre
centre
half.
half.
But
yeah.
somebody
One of
obviously
the-
said, "Listen, you can get into this lad's head."
But see,
See, they would-
Mikey sat there
Yeah,
and
but
he
he was
said,
younger then, wasn't he?
Oh,
he
he was
there was a couple of things during the week that was seemingly said that he never said, and
Yeah.
it got back to them, and that was a bit of a weird one, I think, on Mikey's behalf, to be honest with you.
And look,
Someone really set him up there.
Well, he's
like,
very
Mikey was
mature
in
now.
a, Mikey was in a
He is.
totally different,
Oh, environment.
you know,
Yeah, he's-
and it's hard to come back and all that, and there was some pressure on him because Evergreen in the FA final, and Mikey was the main man, like.
Yeah.
You know, so there was loads of. Whereas this one, he's the main man, but he is the main man now. Like, there's nothing on his shoulders
But
now.
it's not
He
burden
is
on him.
you know, it's
When he
not
was
like
20,
before.
he was 20 then, I'd say, wasn't
yeah,
he?
and it's on his
19 or 20.
shoulders now.
He's carefree, sort of, isn't he?
himself. Yeah, no, look.
I met him on the
he's-
town this time last year, and I knew well about him before I ever met him. You know, Kilkenny's a small town, and I always felt that there was pressure on
Carlow, bud.
Yeah. I always felt there was pressure on him, even as a kid. Like, he had to make it, he had to go away. Oh, he's gone away. Our Mikey he's with Aston Villa, he's going to play for it. And it was there was nobody kind of going, is the kid enjoying himself? Like?
Yeah.
So I met him last year and I said, Mikey, do you enjoy? When is the last time you enjoyed soccer? He said, I met him right outside the town hall in town. I was sitting down waiting for the miss. And he said, I've always enjoyed it. He said, it's the stuff around it that I didn't particularly enjoy. But he said, the game itself, I love it, he said. So now he has that maturity. I think if he starts dictating the play on Sunday and Evergreen get up ahead of steam, New York will have their backs to the wall. No, I'm not saying they're not going to deal with backs to the wall.
But that flips both ways, though.
It does,
So
yeah.
both of them have league of their experience. Both of them
Yeah.
are their best, obviously their team's best players.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have a stinker of a game, regardless of New York or Evergreen.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have an outstanding game.
Yeah.
Like, it comes down to who takes your chances on the day. I think Dino will grow himself into the game. He does it every single game. He drops a little deeper, whatever he does.
Yeah.
Evergreen has done their homework on him. They're not stupid either.
No.
They
But I
will
mean,
do
the
their
whole
homework
country
on him.
knows who he is. Like.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows who he is. But everyone knows who Mikey is now
Yeah,
because
they
he was
do,
on
of
our
course, they do.
podcast. I know, but he's a top class
That's
player.
global.
I
Hey,
don't
have you
think-
any Russian listeners? We have one Russian
I don't
listener.
think they'll,
We have listeners everywhere. It's
don't
Go on,
think-
Podge. Name the countries, Podge.
I can't
Sick of
remember.
them, man.
Evergreen won't. Evergreen, I don't think he'll do anything specific with Dean.
I don't think so. No.
I want to go back to the point you just made there about the competition. Do you think the journey matters that much to get to it?
Yeah, yeah. You need.
Well, it's a cup final.
Yeah, you do. You need to have it in the tank. You need it in your head going into that game that if the first 20 minutes doesn't go well, we can still get there. Like,
Yeah.
Because we've had it in previous rounds.
We've
Yeah.
done it. Like,
Okay.
we went through one. We won what 4 penalty shootouts to get there. Like, and we
Oh,
won the
yeah,
final in
yeah.
a penalty shootout. Like,
Did you?
yeah, we were 4 away
Oh,
games.
that was the
like, in
that was the
Dublin.
last one you won. Was
Yeah.
that match?
Just had a good keeper.
But the penalties were shocking.
Never say that good enough.
But when you've gone through it with the same group of lads, like New York will know it. Like when they were winning those 2 quadruples, that's not easy done. They weren't
No.
just rambling through. So they know in them games, like obviously there was some games where, like going down to, you were saying down in the All Blacks or Wexford Bows, down to 10 men. But the difference was this year they were able to
Able to flip it. yeah,
get through
yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
Wasn't
so
there
I
one
do
of
think
them-
that
Was
surely
there one of
makes
them
a big
quadruples?
difference.
Dean was
Yeah,
gone
it's a
away
fair
as well,
point.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was in England, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
had. Was he in Australia or somewhere?
Yeah, he was in England. He was in London, wasn't he, Dean, for a while?
What's
He was
your
in Canada.
man's
Oh,
name?
Canada, sorry.
Canada for
What's the
years.
chap that came into with Jordan Harmon? Was it? Or
No. Cody
Cody
Hall.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing I would say is, we were. I don't know if Graham remembers this. We were up in the quarter final up in Dublin. They
wasn't
brought us
born.
up one Sunday morning. We were up there really early. Remember, kick-off was 11 o'clock. Was the far side of Dublin.
Yeah, but you do the same, though.
Right, and we were 2-0 up at half time, and the man,
believe it
the
or not,
captain,
KDL won't.
yeah, the KDL wouldn't do that for you.
Well, the Carlow League, if you, sorry, no,
But you
to
look
across.
at the tally game.
12 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
12 o'clock on
Yeah.
Saturday
What's
up in
that
Dublin.
If your league game is 11 o'clock with
They went up and
KDL,
won it.
it's 11
Top
o'clock.
set,
If
My
it's
club,
2.
my club,
It's
the
2
youths.
in the
But that's not
Leicester
the
youth
rule, though.
semi-final. 2 o'clock on a Sunday. 1 o'clock on a Sunday.
That was ridiculous, yeah.
Who plays youths on a fucking Sunday?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dublin teams just
Yeah, it just upset you. And coming off the pitch, a half time going back on the pitch, you know, you do your whatever you're doing. And the captain at the time, Michael Falsey, just said to the boys, "We fucking lose this," he said. "You won't have to worry about them." And I was going to Sean, we're all right today. Now we got out there 2-0 and got
Someone
onto the
crashed
final.
going up, didn't they?
Lads crashed on the way up and everything.
No,
Where
I
were you
wouldn't,
saying to-
I wouldn't
the-
say that was
far
because
The
they
far
were,
side of Dublin, I was in
it
a
was
park.
very early in the morning. They
I was
were
in a
going up
park,
like.
graffiti everywhere. Jesus, it was like
It was one of them
going to
ones-
Galatasaray. Like,
Yeah, they weren't
you know?
good, like, but they were just trying to.
Dogged. And when they're all sitting in the dressing room, maybe their last training session this week, and we were talking about Tommy Phelan the other day. Sometimes you'd be sitting in the dressing room and, you know, you're having your own thoughts. It's who look around the dressing room and go, just I have Poppa with me, I have Podge with me, just have Graham with me, I have Damien with me, we'll be all right. It's the lads who can
If it
look
was a
around
small
at the
five
boys.
aside, we'd be all right.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
but if
yeah.
the lads in the-
That'd be a big fight.
yeah, but you know what I mean? If the lads in the dressing room are looking around and going, I'd say
We're a good
Dino's
keeper,
going,
alright.
I know Fester won't let me down.
Yeah.
I know we're good in goal.
Do
I
you think
know-
emotion plays a part?
Oh, massive. Emotion is going, the first 10 minutes is going to be critical.
Yeah.
Thing I love about it is
Because-
both of them are on the same kind of a level. Like, you're not getting someone going in against, like, Portmarnock
never
team
there
a
or
few
whatever.
years ago, or
Yeah.
someone who's been there before, done it all before. Both of them really want to win it. Both of them are top of their games, and both of them are representing
And
their.
both of them have suffered heartache.
Exactly, yeah, and it's
Yeah,
Both
and
teams.
that's the thing.
obviously
And
everyone
that's-
wants to win,
I
but
don't ever
definitely
want
no one
that
wants to
feeling
lose.
again. You're
like,
saying
you
in
know,
the
Yeah.
dressing room.
it's just,
I don't ever want it
And
again.
ye spoke eloquently, I should say, same as ourselves, about the new generation of kids coming through that haven't experienced heartache or not allowed experience loss. And
Let's get the mock out.
Just-
That one.
yeah.
everyone's a winner.
yeah, that's it. Johnny comes 56 in a 50-man race. Oh, you were brilliant. Here's a medal. You know, that doesn't set you up for life, let alone sports. But if you go through sports and, like you're saying, you're sitting there, I was here before we lost. I don't give a fuck what happens today. I'm not losing today.
No.
And when
You're
you have
running
that
that
in your
extra
locker,
yard, yeah.
and you have that in your, and you're prepared to run till you get sick,
Is that a hindrance or help though?
I think it's a help, depending on the age and profile of the team.
Jeez, I remember we had a warm up in the Shield final years ago, and the player started bleeding. He was that wound up. Like he was so.
What did he say to
That
you?
was a scrambled eggs.
What did he say to you?
We were doing a warm up,
Give him a left jab.
100
did you?
miles an hour, and he just started bleeding. I'll never forget.
Wow.
He was just so wound up.
These lads all though have won between them all.
Domestically,
They've
yeah,
won
yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
winners, yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
But they've played Leinster senior games as well.
Yeah.
Like, New York have played Bray in the big
Yeah.
game where they know where the standard is above, and then they go
Yeah.
and play
And I think-
North End, where I said on the last episode where no one gave them a chance because
No,
Three
you did
Yard,
that-
Three
that's
Yard beat them, Powerful beat them.
I
I'll
have
be
to
honest
say
with you, we're
that's
going
they
down to
turned
that
over
game. I didn't
Michaels.
give him a chance either.
that's
I'll be fair.
nice to me. I have to say now.
And it's the way
That
they beat them.
result.
Yeah, because I
The
do
bet come
think
4-0, wasn't it?
2-0. It should have been 4-5.
North End North End are after showing how good they are, like by
Favourites in
getting
the
to
FA Junior Cup
the
final.
final, like again.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
Ravenna was that
4-1,
weekend.
yeah.
No, I thought that as well, but it was that was the first round of the Senior Cup.
Oh, was it?
Because I was looking at it going,
yeah.
fuck,
The lads away and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Research,
thought we
will
were
you?
getting thumped. I was going,
Can I
this
ask you
is
a question?
Bud.
Do you think if New York happened to win it, we'll
When?
see.
50-50. like.
If they do you think it'll kick him on again?
Yeah,
Or do you think
100%.
it'll finish him?
I think it'll kick him on again. I think it'll help them create a new wave of players.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think the group players that's there are probably in a position where they've outgrown their success and they're on the scale, right?
They want
Where
the
it could
bigger
tip-
trophy.
Where it could tip where it's we've done everything, we're gone,
Yeah.
or it could be we've won this, we're going to add.
Yeah.
I think they're in that kind of they're flirting with that line a little bit because you know it, lads. Be part of a successful team for 4 or 5 years is very hard
Hard, yeah.
because you're talking about retaining and adding a little bit all the time.
Yeah.
And I always find, from my experience, it's not so much getting new players; it's retaining what's already there can be the hard fucking thing.
And myself and Sean did it, and Sean was great at every year he'd bring up a youngster from the youth just into the squad, and we might bring in a player, but it would change the dressing room dynamic straight away when you have a
Unbelievable.
new lad in.
Takes
And-
one lad walking in pink flip flops or something. Just,
Yeah.
What's wrong with this lad?
Yeah.
You know what I
then-
mean? Then you go skating him and he's lethal on the field.
Exactly.
Hey, let him play, man. He can wear what he wants. A mankini in it. Hey, he'll just run with the ball.
But even the whole dynamic in the dressing room, he makes friends with another lad, and then
Yeah.
there's a 3 little group together, and they're doing their thing.
Yeah,
The problem we did, I would say, I was probably burnt out 18 months before I finished. Probably should have went.
happens, right?
Probably should have went before then, but I didn't. Because listen, successful, and I was with my family.
Yeah.
But we started bringing in. I remember 2 players we brought in, and they were nowhere near good enough for us. Now you're not the
Fuck
one.
off, I was going to say.
You're not the one.
I was counting the time. I was like, he left then. I was fucking
No,
signed then.
what
I was
him?
like,
We brought in a couple of. In fairness, to be him, and I said to him, he should have came to us 4 years earlier. We would have.
It's
done
only for a
serious
Premier
damage.
though.
Yeah.
Premier, yeah.
But we brought in.
only time ever.
We brought in 2 lads from out of town, way out of town, and
Well, Space of 3 years,
they
twice.
weren't freebooters.
Up and down.
You know
You
yourself.
get it.
Certain clubs have an identity where it's certain type of people, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Lads fit in or they don't fit in. We brought in 2 lads that didn't fit in.
Oh, but what led you to them?
I think it was.
Hey, listen, you're not stupid.
I think it was just. I think it was just. I think it was just tiredness, and we just yeah, we take him. You know,
but
I don't think
it was under some kind of premise where these boys are good.
we're good yet. No, we were starting to falter a little bit. And we're looking to plaster over the cracks at the end, I think.
Yeah.
And Sean was always really good at saying where we need to identify problem. And I would be the one who'd go, I go look at a player, I don't give a shit. I went into a lad's house one day and asked him to sign. His father told him not to, and I just stood there and said, yeah, come on. And he came anyway, and he won loads of medals. I don't give a shit. I'd be a little bit like Badger, I imagine. I don't care. But at that stage, we were
lot
probably
more hair,
taking, last we were taking that we
Wouldn't say
didn't
a lot.
really need it.
He said a lot more here. I wouldn't say a lot.
You're not exactly fucking
Well, you
Brad
just shook
Pitt
it there. You
yourself.
shook it there, and you're like a dandelion. There's stuff on everywhere there.
That's a spray on.
That's something that Evergreen are after doing really well. Like they have lads.
The
From,
recruitment's excellent,
They
right?
have lads from
Yeah.
all around. Like they have a couple from Waterford and there's Clonmel and
It's a point I'd
but
use
they
against
brought
them.
in.
Well, sure. Look,
I would be in the
Walk have
same-
two
I'd
Kilkenny lads
agree.
on it.
I know people would say that, but I don't think it's
Didn't know
it can
about
it's ever a
Kilkenny
problem
lads.
if you're winning. It's only a problem. That's only becomes a problem.
So
if,
when you're building.
yeah, or if you're faltering, people are saying, well, why are we not bringing them up? Why are we bringing in A or B? But it's not a new thing with Evergreen.
No, I'm not
Like
saying that.
Billy Walsh, when it was years ago, your man Giles Cheevers come up and played. They'd always, if someone is good enough, they'll bring in.
And that's
It's not
right. That is right.
but they've handled it really well this time.
The flaw I have against them, and like I said, they're exceptional, everything they've done, but they're not producing their own players.
Well, their
there's one
B
for
team
you.
came up out of the first division last year, and they probably Gary went and took. I'm going to say 3, maybe 4. I don't know. That he obviously brought into the squad that he thought.
Was he over the B team before he took the A team?
No, this would be he's on about their B team now.
Their
Oh,
B team now. That's
okay.
Gary
Gary
Owens,
Premier now.
he's the same name. Yeah.
But Gary Marr took 3 or 4 of the players from that B team and brought them up to the A team now. I suppose
are
a few of them. Sure, James Carney, I'm nearly sure was playing B team last year. I can't think of the other.
Well, let me
chaps,
tell you this.
but a few of
As
them.
soon as Evergreen decided to put their B team into the Premier, ended recruitment. For
Yeah,
me.
it does hurt big time, but that's a
Sorry, not
that's a
recruitment,
whole
development,
different-
sorry.
It's the worst thing that happened to the Kilkenny
Mental, isn't it?
District League.
yeah.
Not just them.
Graham's
we
after
came,
saying it. It's
we
another
came up
fucking
at the same
podcast.
time.
Yeah, that is a totally that's a
and I've said it to Miller and all the boys. What do we think we are in Kilkenny that we can do things completely different to the rest of the world and expect better results?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Miller's decision.
Not at the time.
Like we always name poor Miller, and he gets
Yeah.
the blame for everything as
Now,
everything District League.
what are the Evergreen lads like as a group off the field?
The genuine Evergreen lads. Sound.
No, together. This squad of players and so.
No, you had to be close. Yeah, to be close. Yeah. To
Was
be-
your mind in playing the 2016 FA Junior final? Or
no. Lee was on the bench.
Mikey and Lee.
Lee was on the bench
Lee
for
was
that?
on the
Yeah.
bench for that, which I think
Robbie
still
Kwan
to this day
played in
cost
front of him.
I think this New York team are an unbelievable team,
Mm.
but a better group of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can say is,
They're always together. You go
Yeah.
down to Carpenters. There's 14 of them there.
yeah,
together.
my own
Yeah.
young
To go
lad
out, to go
is down
together,
there and he
or-
loves it.
Yeah,
Mm.
if
He
they go
loves
out, they
it.
go out together.
Yeah, he loves it
The
down there.
party together. They
This
go
is-
play foot golf. It's foot golf together.
Now, but
They do
we were
everything
at a christening come going away party there Saturday and all day York, and there was a few of them there and they'd be close.
This
you know?
is probably one of the first Evergreen groups in a long time I'd say that are like that. They're all a similar age. Similar,
No, yeah, Graham. The reason I asked because you mentioned Clonmel, you mentioned
Yeah.
But I-
Waterford,
yeah.
did you?
I think
Yeah, there's
talking
Waterford
to
and-
Gary
couple of
last
ex-freebooters.
night.
Yeah.
4 ex-freebooters and 1 ex-freebooter coach.
But talking to Gary last night, he mentioned about them big away days that they've had this year.
Yeah.
That's one, I think, major thing that'll
Oh,
send
it's a
them that they
bonding
had.
session and a half.
Because he was saying that
And
they were,
it's even better if you win.
yeah, he was talking
Yeah.
about going somewhere early in the season and they're on about, we'll get a bus, we might get many away days. And I'd say he got nothing but
He
away
goes, yeah,
days.
he thought we
after
might
that,
get
like,
money and they got
Of course.
loads.
off up the country.
I
and all
think
that.
that they get bet with is there's a couple of ex-freebooters lads out there. There's a couple of lads from Waterford and Clonmel and all. But especially with the local lads, they wanted them. And they went and got them.
Yeah.
Freebooters
make
let
us
them
better.
go.
Yeah.
The lads in
Yeah,
Clonmel,
you
they
can't fault
went
them.
and got them. You know, they went at Taylor, the goalkeeper got injured and they had the foresight in their head. They went and got Keane. Keane was playing with freebooters.
Keane
Like-
played with Freebooters B last year in a cup final against me. Scored on him as well, but sure, look.
Yeah.
And we were
but that
actually,
was
he's
that
good.
one-
He's good friends with one of our lads,
Is he?
and we were actually trying
At least
to
someone out
sign
there
him.
is a friend.
And no one's fucking friends with you, so it don't matter.
Come on, we're missing
And,
a point there.
yeah, sure, we're trying to, but fucking numbnuts here won't shut up.
At least I have a pair of nuts.
Come on.
Right, go on, Davy.
No, you go ahead.
Keane was
Yeah, we were trying to get
Did
him
they-
to sign, and he was saying he'd sign if he could play outfield. And then out of nowhere, Evergreen signed him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he signing in
Sure,
the,
fucking tell you if
the
you
most
let
recent window or was it off season?
no, it was off season. This
Oh,
season,
okay.
wasn't it?
Yeah, start
But-
season, yeah.
But
Do you reckon he's needing another GK, right?
he would have done, as far as I'm aware now. I could be wrong with this, but he would have been signing with booters.
Yeah.
He just needed to be told you're going to play or you're going to get a chance. Now, he didn't do himself any favours in his first couple of years there because he had different jobs and he would be available and not available. But the last couple of years he really has. And they still took the chance, like, went and got him.
Would he be in the goal if Tata was fit for the season?
No, he wouldn't be, but he should be. If that was me.
No, I don't think he would have got the chance.
I don't think he would have got the chance.
Yeah.
Tato's a good goal.
But I do think they wouldn't be in the Leinster final if he wasn't.
If they hadn't signed him.
Yeah.
But that is quite smart though. That's quite good foresight as well, isn't it? To get that chap having a keeper right there.
I don't know Tato, and I've seen him playing. He's won loads.
He's grading into the West.
But I've said to you, Damien, I've said it to you, David, I've said it for years.
Don't leave me, Tato.
Evergreen have struggled since Packy Holden for a goalkeeper to match the rest of the group.
And you think this chap matches it?
Well, they're back where they want to be now.
Okay.
So, like,
point,
the proof is in the pudding.
I'm to give you an opinion of the goalkeeper, eh?
No, and Tato is not a bad goalkeeper. Like, he's won.
Yeah,
But there's a...
This is a different window with this lad.
I think so,
But it's obviously the right profile of his
And he's
relation to his
young,
age and
He's
that.
very young.
Get him.
You'll see him Sunday. He's huge.
The
He
deepest
is
voice
everything you
you'll ever
want.
meet, but he's like, well, how's it going, lads?
You know,
He's
he
fighting in the
is
dark.
everything big.
But you wouldn't,
slim,
but you
fit.
can't. But do you know what it is? Just to go back a little bit. You're talking about bringing in players from here, there and everywhere. It's not Evergreen's fault.
No, they do what they have to do. They did right.
Do you know?
And Graham
Graham
has been nice about it there. The previous management in Freebooters, it's their fault an awful lot of players are gone.
Yeah.
Right? And I have no problem saying that. And I said it very vocally.
Is that
in town.
arrogance? Because freebooters, look, here, I listen to you a lot, lads, and you know, 2 year freebooters, men.
Yeah.
Let's not say any different. Are you too arrogant to
No.
ask them to stay?
No. Oh yeah, we wouldn't be. No, we would have never.
Like
been.
currently,
I reckon
Yeah. Well, when I told you I had an ill-fated stint there, but when I left, Conor English, who was managing Course Bridge now,
yeah.
he was playing with Freebooters. Craig Wall, who's assistant manager, was playing with Freebooters. Andrew Wall was playing with Freebooters. David Doyle, who is with New Oak, was playing with Freebooters. Who else was there?
We lost 9 when
Yeah, there was Chris Phelan,
Phelan,
Emmett Nugent, Paddy Cahill, who were all playing with Fort Rangers.
Outrageous.
Went to West. They were all in that Booters group, like, and they're all gone, like.
And the problem I
No,
have
that's
is
not because I went.
Yeah.
no,
That's
lads,
not
he's
to do with
lying.
it.
It is because
it's not,
you went.
Stop. It's not. But what happened
Don't
was,
stop.
the new
and he
setup
held it.
that came in, whether they thought I don't need to go after them, or if they don't want to play, let them go. And if you're a new manager going in too, you have to have your own way and your own setup. And maybe they thought we'll bring up younger lads, and they did bring up certain
That's a
younger
lot of
lads.
talented
and,
players
it's an awful lot of players
When we
gone
were
out of
there,
the group. Yeah.
Johnny, you know Johnny's on the podcast.
Yeah.
With us. So Johnny would have been Parky Holden, Brian Holden, and then Johnny would have been our direct competition, say Evergreen and Freebooters.
Yeah.
And if a player, say, just say Damo, who didn't leave Stonyford, but we would have all been looking for him, in fairness. I don't know if you ever played against him, and just because he's a big Egypt doesn't mean he wasn't a
seen him
good
play
player.
many times,
He was a
very good.
really, really good player, and we wanted him
Still
early.
is good.
Still
Yeah,
am,
he is,
yes,
but we
the
really
thanks,
wanted him early when he was younger, and he would have won us big trophies. But if he had become available, it would have been a race to who got to the door first. Whether I got down there or Johnny got there. Because we go, hang on, Raggett's available. And it wouldn't be a case of, he's coming to... We would have been down at the door. Listen, do you fancy coming in with us? And that's the
It
way
was
you have to
closer
do
then,
it.
though. Now,
Yeah.
if
No,
any
you have
club
it.
in Kilkenny goes to you and Gary Maher goes to you,
Yeah. Like the prospect now,
Yeah,
and it's no
you'd be
disrespect.
mad
Yeah,
not
no,
to.
you're dead right.
The prospect now is night and day, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
So whoever takes over Freebooters has one hell of a job in their hand.
yeah.
Yeah, but I
To
think...
do that, what you're saying,
Well,
because
yeah,
if
yeah.
Evergreen are knocking as well, you're like, I'll see you later on.
The rumours around already are that Evergreen have spoke to, now it could be just rumours, but they have spoke to a couple of players already.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
illegal,
there's
so we're going to report that.
Well, them teams are finished. That they've spoke
Doesn't matter.
to.
July's the free month. You can't do it, bud. July's the free
I
month.
said they spoke to them. You know how to speak to people.
No,
But there'd be
we're in Gilead.
there'd be force, like they are. Look, it's like Real Madrid if they come, and in Kilkenny,
Well, Real
at
Madrid
the
are the
minute,
bastards at it, aren't
they're
they?
the biggest draw.
Yeah.
You know, and you're looking
if a
at
player have a door open and a lad fell over and Matt plays soccer is brilliant.
yeah.
First thing you do is just a member
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm
You
going
want
to-
to know
and then
what
Yeah,
else.
if you're going into Kilkenny and you don't know what, and that's where
And
you
history
go.
doesn't make
Where
a
did he
difference.
fall off?
Fell over playing.
What?
So, man, just like a lad landed on the street and like wanted to play soccer.
Yeah.
Like a man that 4 lads that walked in.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the Podge
You know what I mean?
just turned up on his door. Yeah. Well, all these players that
Football
want
is
to
under their arm.
That's a fact.
They
But
just
like, you're not
arrived
looking
in.
at, you're not looking at history, you're going, just go on and you walk. Now, this year could be the Pats, their facilities, the team they have,
Yeah.
fantastic. But there's only one or two
Coaches
teams
are,
that are going.
Will Pats keep up the... Will they keep up what they're doing, or is this a flash in the pan, Pats?
Don't know. It's a good question. I'll cancel that at the end of next season, can't I?
Because, I mean, what, the first time in, how long since you've won the league?
23 years.
So that's a big milestone, shall we say? And then do you go, we've won it and settle, or do you go, right, like we were saying,
they'll have to add to it.
Well, if you look at our last
They'll
3
have to add.
games after we won the league, or 4 games after we won the league, that will be the case because we haven't
shook a leg, have you?
we haven't let it glove to anyone.
Right, okay.
No, we won games, but
Like Sunday, then you're looking at what's next. Whoever wins it, do they think, right, we've won it, we'll have it, or do you say, well, we've won that one, why can't we?
Yeah.
well, this is
Win the big
the
one.
next question.
I think if Newark win Sunday, that their hunger to get the league title back will be second to none.
Yeah,
Do you, Papa?
I do, yeah.
I don't think it will.
No, I think it will, yeah.
I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I think
The league is your bread and butter.
the last 2
That's
years.
the best trophy you can win.
Yeah, I think the last 2 years would have bothered them as well that
Yeah.
they haven't won. No matter like even what they're doing now in Leinster, but I think to win that league again and then push on and go for Leinster, maybe FAI.
They will have an outside on the outside, like an eye in the outside competitions, but they will want that league title back.
So are you telling me that if Noah got a chance to give back the last 3 league titles as top for Leinster, they'd say no?
No, that's a stupid question, Podge.
What do you mean you get that though? That's not fair. That was a very articulate question.
I would have a slightly different, I do think they'll be mad to win the league, but I think if whoever wins this one will be looking at the FAI.
Well,
Yeah, I think so too.
And I don't think Newark will, not that they won't go for the league, they will, but I think the priorities will change if there's a big game, and Evergreen will be the same.
Well, even talking to
Because
Evergreen,
the
they were
FAI
like,
is the obvious step after.
But if you're
hopefully the team.
CK United
Yeah.
and you're looking to get into a third tier and you're seeing let's be honest, 2 of the top junior teams in the country playing out a Leinster final, surely you're kind of saying, here's our chance, lads. Let's have a conversation. We need to have a conversation with, and let's build something here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens there in CK because apparently Buckley Park is done and dusted.
As in, they're not getting it.
No, it's done. They're getting it. It's just at the solicitors. But it's at a long time now. And I hope to do get it because I'd love to see senior football
What do you mean
back.
there? You're not in there.
No, I'm not now anymore, no.
You gone?
Yeah. Things. Don't talk about
Go on, Graham. Go on, Graham.
we had a talk
How
about
long
coming down.
is it take going to develop this place back to?
Well,
League of
Graham
Ireland
reckons about 750,000 would it to
No,
get
yeah,
back?
and time wise.
And time.
Are you going to the Sparks on a
Will you do it in a year?
He go for tender.
the playing surface will be back in a year, all right.
Do you think?
Is there anything on it
No,
now?
not like it was.
Is it a
Oh,
soccer
God,
pitch now?
I don't
It's
even
a,
think so.
it's a
I think it has
pitch.
to be.
It's been maintained, but no
redone.
playing on it.
No, it's not being maintained.
But
A
there's
local
talks
club
about
in
Astro.
Kilkenny were renting it out and have done their work on it, but
That's the one on it, right?
Yeah.
It is 20 years away from what it was.
Yeah.
We played a juvenile
it's
game
fantastic,
against Boers
wasn't
on it years ago.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Booters had it for a while as well.
Boers
Yeah.
school, like it
Young
is.
Park
It
had
is
it for a
miles
while.
away, but there's great potential there.
And if they do get that, and they get the third tier, and they get a couple of seasons under the belt, they will then be able to pull out Freeborg's Evergreen.
The-
You know?
Yeah.
Players to go.
I think it's something you have to be careful of.
I don't think anyone will go. 'Cause
I
don't
think
anyone's
players will
interested
go
in
the
it at
price is right.
Yeah.
Money talks, lads.
Does,
And
yeah.
let's be honest, it's League of Ireland football, and Graham, you
Yeah, no, I'd be a bit.
If you're
I
going to do
wouldn't-
National League, you have to be getting paid.
100%. I know
Well, you have
were-
to be now because there's the rules in now.
There's a lot
Yeah,
more
but
money in
What's the money?
League
going
of Ireland now than there was.
Oh, yeah.
What's the money going to be like in the
Graham
third
played,
tier?
say, for example.
But what's the money?
Yeah.
You
like-
don't have to pay money in the third.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Because it's amateur. Like.
But if you want the best players,
yeah.
listen, it's
Well,
2025.
Well, it
lads.
can't cost them to go to the games, can it?
No,
Exactly,
No.
was it on your podcast I heard a lad going, or what was between the stripes? So I was talking to one of them and a guy goes, they were approaching Leinster Senior League players and they said, or was it David Ford or whoever, getting 100 quid playing down the road. You want
John
to give
Lester,
me 50?
was it?
You want to give me 50?
John Lester
John
could have
Lester.
been, yeah.
I'm getting 100 quid playing down the road.
Yeah.
said,
I
"No,
think
thanks."
they're in a different situation, as in,
Well, they shouldn't be included in the conversation because they're doing that the last 40 years.
yeah. No, I mean the CK because there's
Oh,
no
it's
one
not about Dublin
close.
clubs.
It's so far. If you want to go play League of Ireland now, where do you go? Like, you
I honestly
can't
think
go
they have
to
to change
Waterford
the name.
because they're Premier.
What would you call it?
They'd have to come looking for you, and you're
Kenny FC,
Wexford is the only one that's
fucking
close, isn't it?
Ormond United
Wexford,
call
yeah.
it Aston Villa Supporters
Castle.
Association.
Both of us have castles.
But I mean, if
Yeah.
something like that because
Ours is better though.
the Kilkenny lads won't buy into the
Famous for
Carlow side.
Ireland's
The Carlow
longest
lads
room.
won't buy into the Kilkenny side. They won't.
No, I think if it ever, I know we're getting away from what we're here for, but if that entity
blacked out, to be honest,
goes,
no.
it has to be a neutral, bang down the middle League of Ireland entity. No,
I just don't see anything that CK could put together that would actually be better than what New Oak and Evergreen have at the moment.
But that's why I said
the one thing
whoever's
is,
in CK has to recognise that and kind of
Yeah.
say, or, as I said to you last week, big university there.
Yeah,
Rumblings, they're
100%.
going third tier.
Yeah.
If they go for that'll blow serious
it
It
damage.
will, you think it
100%.
will, but also if they go, they'll have to do the UCD model where all the players will have to be in there. So that's no benefit to local lads
No,
here.
it's not. No.
You know, the
Younger,
other thing
younger
is
lads though.
Yeah, but the other thing with CK that they can offer, I think, is
Do you want some
the
more?
quality.
You all right?
The quality of football, proper linesmen, proper actual games, proper
Pitches.
yeah.
Pitches
You know,
massive,
that is
yeah.
the big thing. And there is that potential that if you're playing for CK and you're playing Shamrock Rovers B, not Shamrock Rovers, let's say, yeah, they might, but Athlone Town might, or
Yeah.
someone else, or CK will eventually get good enough to step up to the first division.
CJ Brown went from FC Carlow to Athlone
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
after
You
a
know,
fluke of a game
that's-
against one.
and,
And actually got spotted by
He's in the cup final Saturday night now.
he got
Kilkenny.
spotted by
Thomastown.
Spanish team. And he was going to go and he broke his ankle, didn't he?
El Blindo FC, was it?
Yeah, no, he was actually
Poor old
going on
CJ.
trying to a Spanish team. He played him in a
Leanies,
friendly.
Leanies
Could be
FC.
And
sponsored by
he broke
Leanies.
his ankle. He was going somewhere
But-
when he was very young now.
Like,
Was
if
there
you
a
were-
tackle going into a tackle.
But if you were
Jesus Christ.
CK or whatever you were going to call him, or if you were, I'll tell you one thing, if you were Stephen Elliott, I'd be going to Bunclody
Oh, 110%.
from Wexford, and I'd be looking at Trenton,
But someone
and
had
I'd
the
be
benefit
looking
of it
at
though, Graham.
Dean, and I'd be looking at Lee Delaney. Now, none of them will go,
What do I have to do to
but
get
there
these
I'd
lads?
be saying to myself, what do I need to do to get the three of them in?
And Wexford have money now at the moment.
Because if the three of them
They
went
do.
into the Wexford side that's there now, they'd get promoted.
Going well, Wexford now, right?
yeah.
They clearly have the ability to play at that
Massive.
level
Oh, they have,
and
yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
I'd have.
Massively higher. Way
They
higher.
actually play, but no disrespect to the two teams, as when we were, Freebooters were winning Leinster Juniors, and you three in whatever, 10 years or whatever it was, you wouldn't take either of these teams lightly. You know, any team that Freebooters come out with saying, geez, we're playing this new Oak team, this is going to be tough. You're going to play the Evergreen, that's going to be tough. But if you go up to, say, First Division Wexford, they are playing with fitter, more technical players than they're even playing with now, and the likes of Dean and Mikey and Lee will actually play better. I think Lee should have went years ago. He could have done a league race. He could have done a league race years ago and
He's
got to
every
one of
bit
the top
as
team. One of the
Every
top
bit
teams.
as good.
We all know Mikey had oodles of ability, and I hate saying this that had as well. But times were different. Coming off a building site, getting into a car, going up the country to training, wasn't feasible for him. But he was good enough. There's no doubt about it. And things are that the level of coaching. This is the thing. What you're going into.
That's the first one.
You know,
That's the first one, yeah.
little things like it's not you're driving to training. It's
actually
not
filmed.
your diesel. They give you a few bob for diesel.
Of course, yeah.
That's the big thing.
That's on video,
Strapless for your
I'd say,
ankles.
I've seen it. It's on YouTube.
A bit of food after the game. You know, these are the little things that make a lad feel special. They're the little things. Then
Clubs
you're
are doing
going-
that though, Dave.
What?
Clubs are doing that.
They're doing that now, yeah.
Some lads genuinely don't want to travel on it.
No, they don't. No.
Well, that's the thing with you're saying Mikey and Dean and all these lads.
Send
but
in by Paddy.
they've tried League of Ireland. They've tried this, that, everything. Like, what would entice them to go back to it? Like, they obviously seem to be in a place now where they're happy to play what they're doing.
They're enjoying their soccer,
Yeah.
ain't they?
Exactly, yeah.
And they're
That's-
comfortable as well.
They see what, like, you know, they've
That's
all
a
been
picture.
through enough
Yeah.
and been around enough to know
Yeah.
enjoying it is what
Martin
it's
Comfort
actually
there in the corner,
all
right?
about.
I do think it's about luck.
Yeah.
Like, I do think, as in if, not luck, but because they're all talented, but I mean, as if
Just the
if
breaks,
Dean
yeah.
went in and went into a group that he enjoyed. It's a totally different. Then you don't mind the travelling because you're off every Saturday, Sunday.
But it's
Yeah.
a,
You know,
it's a
it's-
comfortability
it's-
thing. It's
it
like
is,
it's like
look,
the
it's
argument we had.
massive.
We're currently having here, not an argument, but the points have been made where inter-county footballers are now saying, "Nah, I'm playing soccer, lads. I can
too
go for a
much."
meal of a Saturday night. I can enjoy a pint, and I don't feel like that I'm affecting my performance."
Yeah.
different
we were
gravy,
watching
like.
something on Saturday. There was what game was on? Was a Gaelic football on?
Yeah.
Crowd in the
I
stands were
said
shocking.
Marman and
There was nobody there.
Donegal.
yeah,
Do you
but
know
no,
there
not
was
that.
no-
Sorry, the one before. Who was the hurling?
It was the Leinster
Wexford
final,
and-
I think.
Leinster final,
Yeah.
yeah. Loud and
Loud and
Mayo
yeah.
was it?
Meath.
Lead.
You're
Ah,
I
Croke
know.
Park was bouncing for that.
Wexford and Galway.
Wexford
were
and
shocking.
Galway. The crowd
There's
ad
our
was
guy
horrendous.
correspondent dropping the lot.
crowd ad was awful. But look, that's like I'm just saying. If you were looking for it's a game, you'd go and you're looking in.
sure.
You could pick out. Now we just named the three boys, but you could pick out
There's more.
5 or 6 lads to say.
I can tell you,
Jesus.
But sure, Keane, Bray played in New York.
Yeah.
And Keane Dowling never gave the winger for Bray kicking the ball.
like you tell me, Fester's not going to upset somebody in a League of Ireland team. He's an ignorant runner. He just runs and hops off lads and
He
does
can
what
play.
he does and can play. And you'd be going, would you want that? Would I want to be facing him? No. Would you really? Would you like to be an average number 9 in the first division and just say a Dots you're that behind them or Lee Delaney behind you and you're turning next and have the ball gone, they drive you fucking insane.
Yeah.
They drive you
Any
insane.
average player in this field on Sunday will be found out.
Oh yeah, you can't be average.
But there'll be no,
matter who you
listen,
play for.
there'll be no average player playing on Sunday.
There'll be none.
There's no average player on either squad, never mind first 11. Like, an average team doesn't get to a Leinster final.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
I don't.
No, Blads will probably say they do, but I don't think they do.
No, to
You
get
know?
to the final you don't. No.
Well, if they do, they get found out fairly.
Yeah, that's what I
fairly
mean.
quickly.
There's no team that's there that you're kind of going, I say they're happy just to be there kind of thing.
No, they're not.
Both teams
want to win, don't
yeah,
they?
Yeah.
And they're,
100%.
they're good enough to win as well.
There was a club a couple of years ago. They got 9 home draws. Some of them were into the blind school, and they won 9 games in a row. And then they got to the quarter final. I think they're about 11.
Oh, that was in the FAI Junior.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking.
They just
about.
got this
It was
run.
5 or 6 years ago, just after COVID, there, wasn't it?
Just got this run that you could dream of.
Yeah, and we're back. Just a little part 2. We had to stop there, Papa.
You were overheating, were you, Podge?
Damien threw a punch at Davy there, and I thought I was getting missed. We had to pull the plug a little.
Like his penalties, he missed me from close range.
Oh, jeez.
Are penalties there for close range? Yeah.
Absolutely brutal, aren't they?
Well, we haven't got time to take another break now.
No. The last 20 minutes we probably wandered off the actual topic, right?
Right.
So, Papa, where do you see Noak being strong or could potentially be the difference to go over the line?
Well, they're mentally strong after suffering heartbreak in the semi-final last year. They're disciplined better. They have a better squad. I think things happen for a reason. Lee Walker should be in with the county playing Talton Cup on Sunday, but he's playing Leinster Junior Cup final instead because the football didn't work out for him. Because of the manager, and he hasn't been asked back in by the current manager.
There's another individual on that thing is the same thing.
Yeah, they have a super goalkeeper. They have a backup centre half, who's a proper centre half, so that leaves the 2 fullbacks as backup. I think Luke will start, and I think Dickie will obviously start.
Yeah, Dickie's a fine player, isn't he?
James McGrath was with us last year. He's gone back to New York. He's a super talent, and they have a close link tree. That tree, midfield tree, is class. The pressure from Roy, what he'll do running wise against a really good left full, it will be a really good battle. And how Jordan influences the game is so important because he's not a natural striker. They'll rotate that position many times.
They do that well,
they do it brilliantly. And they can say they don't have a natural striker. No, they don't have a natural striker.
Yeah.
Jamie Murphy would be the most natural striker say they have.
Yeah.
I don't think Jamie will start,
Right.
but I think that it's like a midfield 4 rather. It's a box 4 really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
And then you have the other boy.
that's what they do, and it's
But this thing about not having a natural striker, if you're not scoring goals, is when it hurts you. But New York score goals.
I said it last week.
but they don't have a natural striker, but the amount of goals they score,
Yeah.
and they have a great ability to go up a gear when they go a goal behind,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's a serious failure. I think
that they're going to need that
yeah.
because I think that they possibly could go behind.
I think in general play, from a patterns perspective, and if you looked at the 2 teams and how they play, Noak can, and you mentioned it before, Evergreen can go along, so can Noak.
Yeah.
Like Noak have that pattern of the inside wingers and fullbacks arriving late and
Yeah.
the diags, and it's lovely. But they can also go straight into Dean, into a 10, dribble in. Do you know? Like, I don't know.
Skinner's diag pass is class.
Yeah. He loves it too.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
Yeah, he is. He loves it. Yeah.
But there's a couple of players on either side
Do you think?
that can go after discipline wise.
I think Skinner coming down here the last 2 years has been good for him.
Okay.
I think he was very erratic up in Kilkenny. He got sent off, could go under his skin very easily. I think coming down here has been very good.
It was Canis he was it?
Canis is, and he was.
He was Evergreen as well.
Evergreen
before
as well.
that. He was at Wexford.
Youth, yeah.
The thing I have is for Evergreen up front. If they have 2 match winners starting, and if they don't work, the 2 to bring on can win you a match.
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing to have. They're not looking to the line hoping for goals. They know they can switch it completely, and the 2 coming on know what they're doing and can get you goals to win it as well. I think there's a big
you walk
problem
a couple
there.
of players that can come off the bench who are different than the players that's on the field.
Yeah.
Like young Josh Brady can come on there now.
Chris
and
Blake.
He's a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
An absolute bag of tricks. He can turn you inside out.
Coach them, bud.
Chris Blake would be a natural centre forward. If
Yeah.
one of the midfield, that box 4 is not working, they can go up top. Like they've enough options to go 3 at the back. Both teams do as well. Like, but
Yeah.
it's a hard one to call. It's going to be a fantastic game.
It is. I think it's going to be. Do you know what? It'll probably do the Leinster Junior Cup justice. To be honest with you. I don't know if the 2 boys beside me have anything to say because.
Damien, who needs it more? Who are they, bud? They're not playing.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you were having a podcast yourselves there. But I think as a betting man going on it, without betting with your heart, it's very hard to pick a winner between both teams. I think it's probably one of the most even finals.
There's no doubt about that, yeah.
Yeah, you know that. I think I'm delighted I'm a neutral in it, as in the game wise or team wise. That I'm like really looking forward to, hoping that the missus will let me go on Sunday. That kind of.
If you had to pick a winner, though,
I'd go Evergreen on penalties.
that's something we haven't talked about, Graham.
I would just.
But who needs it, Graham?
Well,
Just that was the question that asked Damien.
I think Evergreen do. I think they do, because it's been a long journey for him, and I know New Walk are on one as well, but it's been a long one for Evergreen trying to get there. But I just think that the control that they have it's not that. It's just like they can strangle the life out of a team, and it's whether New Walk can get out of that little stranglehold. That would be my fear for New Walk.
Yeah.
Like, Evergreen can play a game and make it look almost pedestrian. Stop everyone, and they're just doing their thing, and next thing, bang, there's a goal. And if Evergreen get ahead, I think they win it. If it goes the other way, and Evergreen have to come out of their shell and go chasing it, it can play out different. But I think Evergreen need to win it, and if you're asking me who I think will win it, I find it hard to see Evergreen losing.
But I think what you said there about them strangling the life out of teams, I think that has shown in the last couple of rounds that they've played. Lads have got ratty against them because they're getting frustrated. They're kicking out. They're stuff like this, like
Teams against them, playing against them.
Yeah. And I know it's
the retention of the ball.
probably just getting annoyed with them. Like,
It's
Just closing channels.
But is that not down to the management to say, well, just let them have it there, lads.
yeah.
Let's just wait to kick it in top of us.
That's what I mean. Like, that's going to be the difference in Sunday. Is New Oak have been there. They've probably got ratty with teams before and got their sending offs in previous years, but
It's cost them.
Yeah, exactly, and they've learned from it now. So they're
it's what happened to us in 2008. It was a nice flowing game for the first 15, Graham, was it? And then
Your man was sent off.
Your man got sent off in the middle of the park, and Cherry Archer just sat back.
Yeah.
And the Stevens caught us twice in the break, and in fairness, only for your man in the goal, we were 2-0 down. And then they went off to Ireland the next day and ended up where he ended up.
Yeah.
But they just sat in, and the thing was, at that time, we were a couple of years in it that we had the boys, look, just keep going. Where I would think if I'd been in charge a couple of years earlier, I probably would have got frustrated.
The thing with it is, Evergreen don't just sit in though.
No.
They're constantly poking and probing, and
that's
where the frustration. Like, I know Skinner, he made his Wexford debut with me in Cork, and Skinner is like, he's on the ball, he's brilliant, but he has that switch that can just, I'm going to take a chance on this, or I'm going to, and that's what they want. They'll pop
try and bring it to the edge,
and
right?
pop and probe, and next thing,
But Evergreen are not bulletproof, are they?
No.
Like, you know, they have to have weaknesses too.
they have weaknesses. They have.
There's not many weaknesses in either team now,
No.
Now, what would you think of the
not.
penalty shootout? Why are you reckoning there?
I think, I'll give you a prediction, but it involves a penalty show. I think whoever scores the most goals will win the game.
Alright, Michael Owen.
So let's know that one, bud.
And whoever scores first will be in the lead, is that it? Yeah. That who scores first is in the lead.
Whoever captain lifts the trophy, their team will win it.
Yeah.
I know. I think that it's. I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking it's going to be a game of chess, right? But I think it's going to be frantic. I think it has to be frantic for New Walk. If Evergreen are that good in possession, for me, it's probably a full press, forcing the break lines.
Do you see New Walk as good at possession?
Yeah, New Walk are excellent in possession.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So comfortable going back as they are going forward.
Like the day against Craic Yard, in fairness, they bossed the possession after 15, 20
That's
minutes.
where the pitch will dictate as well.
I'd be worried about how good
I'm
the pitch
delighted
is
it's
going
on
to be.
grass.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm delighted it's on grass.
Do you know what it is? It's a very heavy pitch.
Yeah,
It is a heavy pitch, Papa.
It's I was looking at the one we were on and they're obviously in the same condition. It was patchy, you know. It wasn't.
It's the
wasn't
weather as
lush,
well.
like.
So like possession is the big thing, because if it is the 24 degrees,
You'd rather have
on
it
the
than
pitch,
chase it.
yeah. If you're chasing
Man
the ball
are
a lot,
Chinese here. Look.
you're in trouble.
I'm actually
You know,
saving you again.
I do.
What do I do now?
I think it'll be a brilliant final.
Yeah.
I think it'll be one
But
of the
it is
best
very,
finals.
very level, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no look, I'll always we're coming from the from not the Evergreen side, but Kilkenny
Kilkenny
side,
side, yeah.
and we would see Evergreen way more. You know, we'd see clips in Milwaukee, or if I'm I travel with David and I'm on his young lad, so I hear a lot about the games,
Yeah.
but I don't see it. You know, so that's why I'd be leaning towards Evergreen, and it is only leaning, even though I think you're only leaning. You're not saying Evergreen are going to go and win it by.
If one team is thumped, it's an absolute shock.
I would be
Yeah,
shocked.
yeah.
I
I was
would
just
be
going to ask,
shocked.
like,
But do you know what is? It can easily fucking happen as well.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
what
like-
I mean?
Say
Well, cup finals are for winning.
They are,
That's
yeah.
the thing.
the under 12, won the 14 cup final at the weekend.
No,
And
no relevance at all.
the
But
young
anyway,
lad
go on.
got an unbelievable goal, a world goal in the first half, and then they just held out and got over the line. You know,
Yeah.
so you have to take your chance, but both teams on Sunday are going to have to defend.
That's
like,
a common team in cup finals, though.
you're going to have to defend for your
I
life.
think both benches are so important Sunday with the weather that they're given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen,
gonna
do you know
be
what's going to
warm
be a
day,
big
man.
thing now?
2:30 today.
What's the
Could be water
momentum
breaks.
like when they call the water breaks? When they call the water breaks, like
Just
Yeah.
thinking that.
you know, if a team is in the ascendancy and all of a sudden, hang on, stop, let's get a team might get a break. You know, there's so
you have
many
to-
variables in it. Like
Do you have to agree to that, or can that be? Is that be?
No, I think referee makes a decision on it, is it?
Well, referee, we had played a cricket yard on Friday
Damien,
night in 35.
are you interested or?
he's getting me out. of
Referee
trouble.
asked us to want a water break before a ball is kicked.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it's a rule.
Oh, right. Oh, they asked you to pop.
Well, the referee did ask us, yeah. We just said, well, it's
Yeah.
35, so I said, yeah. But in
As
that
many as
game,
possible.
yeah, but in that game,
that-
if you want
yeah.
momentum, you don't want a break.
Can I
do
get
you?
an
You don't
IV
want a
break?
No, you don't want to
Where's
break
the
at all. And the ref is going to have a big.
Oh yeah.
Who's the ref it, lads?
I don't know. I'm presuming it's
It's
Wexford.
outside.
You'd imagine.
You'd
if
imagine
it's
so,
Carlow,
yeah.
Kilkenny, you wouldn't
Any
know.
idea them
But
on the
if
rest,
they
no?
let the
I'll
game
check it here now,
flow,
Phil.
if they let the game flow, I think it'll be brilliant. But if they get nitpicky at the start, it
Yeah.
can.
Do you know what it is? If it's the referee's first big game,
Yeah.
it
This
could,
is a big thing.
Yeah.
It could be.
Like you're talking
stop
of League of
start.
Ireland grounds. This should be. I
100%.
don't mean new lads going into League of Ireland. This should be First Division League of Ireland
100%.
officials.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Why
At
not?
least.
Why not put this in the Aviva anyway?
Why not?
Or Tala.
Or Tada?
No referees on it yet. No.
Fixture isn't even on the Kilkenny website.
I'll check it.
They're waiting for Connect.
I'll check it, Papa. Can you take next 5 minutes? You won't mess it up, right? Please.
Oh, God.
Fuck me.
No, but it's look, I do think the refs will have a big bearing on it, because like if it does get tasty,
Like you know.
There's both players. There's players on both sides. Like I said, you can go after
Yeah.
discipline wise
Yeah,
and ability wise.
yeah,
Like
Local
if you're getting,
refs, not named.
if you're getting a chance to Glatardino
yeah,
or Mikey,
have to
you're
clash,
going to do it as best you can.
But you're
Because
really-
if they're not on the field, other teams are weaker, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's not the approach, though.
No,
Papa.
it's not the
If,
approach.
listen, if
but Podge-
Evergreen,
well,
if
it's a
they-
normal approach.
no,
Podge,
if the
there's
Evergreen
the team that's
manager,
going to do that.
if Evergreen manager is in the fucking dressing room on a Leinster final day and telling someone make
No.
sure you go clatter him,
but I don't think it'll be the managers. I think if me and Papa are playing together for New Walker, they're struggling first of all, right? If we're playing in the midfield, but if we're playing and we know,
Wow.
and we know that Dean Kelly or Mikey Drennan, we're talking to each other and say, listen, first chance we get. Let
Oh,
him
yeah,
know he's in a
absolutely,
game. No, I
absolutely.
don't mean half him or.
No,
but
no,
if
no.
it's a good hard challenge and
Don't-
the ref
don't.
lets it go, then
Yeah.
the game is off.
Yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah.
that happens and the ref
It's
goes
the first incident
yellow
that set the tone
card,
for the
Sets the tone,
game.
It's
Do
exactly.
you all think, and it's the first incident and how the referee deals with it.
yeah, that's the
He
big
lets it
thing.
go.
Like.
But what I'm going to say, do you actually
Jimmy
think he'll
Normandy
go?
special bite, you never get booked for the first one.
Yeah. Do you think he'll go extra time?
Yeah, my prediction is no walk on penalties.
I don't think it will.
What's your prediction, Paul?
2-1, you walk.
Who scores?
Lee Walker. And I think Jordan Harmer's going to do something special.
How good is Jordan Harmer?
Very good.
Technically as good as anybody.
He's
Yeah.
very
In the league.
underrated.
Very
Honest to God.
underrated.
Well, then
I
anyone
actu-
in the team with Dean gets on.
I actually seen a comment today on one of our socials saying Jordan Harmer didn't get into your team of the year. That's how good a Carlow League is.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
But you don't hear much.
He's really, really good.
You don't hear much about him as much as you should. If
You have to,
He's,
know what I
he's,
mean.
he's
you have to see him pop it, don't you? You
His
have to
mark-
look
his
at
mark against him is that he doesn't
does
pick up
so
enough
much,
goals.
Yeah.
for that in that New York team. Like it's Lee, it's Dino, obviously.
Yeah.
Davy picks up a few goals. Blake's after getting a few goals. He plays a lot of game time, but maybe doesn't pick up enough goals. He'd probably tell you that himself.
Yeah, but probably
on the ball, he will back
It's the
himself against
Firmino
anybody.
But his teammates
Yeah,
probably
it probably
appreciate
is,
it more than
that's-
anybody
yeah.
else.
Oh, they
do.
do. They know how good he is.
Yeah, yeah.
His first touch
Well,
is
there's
there.
a few in Evergreen like that, Ethan and Iffy. They do an awful lot of work, don't they? And they pick up a few goals, but I think they're well respected by their teammates as well, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. Sure, they're all well
Do you think-
respected among each other and the league. Like,
Do you think either team has a switch that if they make it will cost them?
I
Has
think-
like have Walker weak link on the bench that have to bring him on, it could cost them?
No.
There's no weak link there.
No. Well, it like you could bring on your sub winger or centre half. That might cost you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think there'll be massive changes.
No.
I don't think there'll be a whole lot.
No, unless there's injuries or something silly happens to the card and you have to maybe change your shape around. But I think in finals like that,
I think if New Walker losing, they'll have to bring on Blake, who's a natural centre forward,
yeah.
which they don't have.
With
I don't think he'll start.
Yeah.
Will that upset their flow though?
It's a completely different player than Jordan.
Probably gives him off
But
the
he's
shoulder,
fit,
Papa,
he's
does
a
it?
big lad, yeah. He can play on the
Yeah,
shoulder
but-
and he's in, he's gone.
they seem to change around a lot week to week.
Well, they beat
as
us- they beat us
in the
last
league and
weekend.
stuff like that. Like, and
And Dino didn't play.
No.
yeah.
He didn't play Wednesday against Cohesion in the semi-final of the Cup.
But I mean, like, a
Skinner
lot
didn't
of
play.
these players
That
are
was another off again.
playing
wasn't it?
together.
Yeah.
They're getting time together. They know, as you
Yeah.
said, if it changes and Blake comes in, lads know what they're getting from Blake. It's the same with Evergreen. If Grinny comes in, lads know what kind of game he's going to play. If Andrew Wall comes in, what way he's going to play. Are they coming to feet? Are they going in behind? Is
Yeah.
it the ball across the box? What it is?
It's like Lee Walker is the one winger out of the two wingers, say, of him and Roy, who can do with the ball at his feet or running behind.
Yeah.
He can press the fullback.
Or go inside.
Right? Ray Byrne wouldn't be as good with the ball at his feet, but what a man to travel the ground.
Right, okay.
Then if one of them gets injured, to bring on a Josh Brady, he makes himself dizzy. He's that good with the ball at his feet. Honest to God, he's crazy with the ball at his feet.
Well,
But they have.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a case of
David Keaton comes in?
Good player, huh?
Yeah,
He's
he's underrated
underrated.
because the two centre halves are so good.
like could you see a situation, lads, on our side where you'd have Grinny, Mikey, Decky, and Andrew on at the same time?
Mikey, or Decky McQuillan is underrated as well.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Do you
Very
think
underrated.
you think them four
He's
be on the
very
pitch at
good,
one
like.
time?
No.
No.
Andrew
Just
Wall
thinking
and
that.
Grinny won't start.
I don't think the middle three that starts from New York will finish the game.
Right. Okay.
I think it's exactly what you said earlier as well. That Eat Sunday,
Yeah.
if it is what it is.
Someone
is
will blow a gas
going
after
to-
20
yeah,
minutes.
exactly. It's going to
And
make
it'll
the
affect him in the
difference.
second half and make him out of there.
What's going to happen with Andrew Wall? If it goes 70 minutes and they're looking for winning, Andrew Wall and Green will come on. Andrew will start pinning centre halves, start fighting with him, wrestling him, and he's very underrated on how good he is with the ball at his feet. He's good at rolling a centre half to slip a ball for somebody else. And Grinson will just find a pocket of space, won't want to run 100 metres, and he'll find a pocket of space, speed a spot, and put it away. He's probably as Graham, when he was a schoolboy, he was as good as you ever saw.
Oh, he's a brilliant finisher.
You know,
and he's
so-
brilliant. Grinny is just look. He's at the stage of his career now where that's his job now, coming
Yeah.
in for that 20 minutes. And I know no one wants to hear that, like, but
But it's just a
it's
reality.
a running
for everyone.
joke that he's actually 53 now.
Yeah. I thought he was 72.
54,
54.
sorry.
But,
I think
but he
actually
is
the
quality.
birthday there last week.
And it's
You
the
know.
thing like you're saying about if somebody sees, just say Mikey and Decky go off, just saying, I'm not saying that'll happen, but just say they go off, and Andrew and Grinny come on, they're saying, look, we can relax a little bit here. You bloody can't, like.
Yeah, well, like,
And they will find a gap.
Well, it's a big feather in the Walks hat this year, the fact that because the last 3 years you could nearly guess their 11 every week.
yeah.
This year, Gavin has done serious rotation because he's added that bit of depth. Davy gone in there in January, Lee Walker coming back, like Darrell Coleman's on the bench. We haven't mentioned Kyle Foley.
Kyle Foley
Another
can
good
play.
player, like,
Yeah,
you know,
both full back rows,
we haven't,
centre half or
mentioned, we haven't
midfield.
mentioned Dylan Kitely, Lee Keaton. Like all these lads might not start, but the depth they have coming off.
It's always
You
up
know.
top end, though, is it? The rotation. Evergreen wouldn't rotate
No,
at the back
no,
as much, would they? Unless it's
David Keaton sometimes starts in the
centre
six.
half.
Adrian Clear played most of the
Lee
most of
Murphy,
the
haven't
season
mentioned
centre
Lee
half.
Murphy.
And Sam
And Lee
Johnson's
Youngler's a
in
good
now.
player.
But
Isn't he?
Jamie's very good, yeah.
Lee being injured a good bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like how
well,
good Lee was very
yeah.
good younger, wasn't he?
Excellent.
Lee is the best player, in my opinion, to ever play in Carlow.
Lee
You'd say
Murphy.
he's better
Yeah.
than Dean.
Over
He's
his
not
career,
much.
like.
He's not much. That's it. Just call a spade a spade. Take off your friend hat.
Yeah. Fair point.
and-
Well, Lee Murphy's a class player. Don't get me wrong.
If you're
Brilliant.
the Mount Rushmore of junior soccer players, and Carlow, Lee Murphy's in it.
Right, okay, that's fair statement.
There's only 4 on
Dean
Mount
Kelly's the best
Rushmore
player
now.
Carlow's ever seen, bar none.
I'll
End
tell
of
you
story.
one thing.
Conversation's
You wouldn't even
over.
make Mount Leinster, my Mount Rushmore.
I went up with the other day, I was great.
Wouldn't make the bit.
She told me you're the best coach of all time.
Come on. Come at me now.
Yeah, so it's going to be very
That's
interesting.
high praise though. With Dean, like it is. He's-
And
it's-
No,
like
you're
it's,
spot on. Yeah,
I've played against like
Yeah,
they'll talk about
you've
Christy
seen it,
Sullivan's
and,
and
yeah.
Chris Sullivan, what a player, yeah.
The Pats
Dead.
back in the.
your brother tell you about him.
Oh,
Great friend of him.
tried
Davy Doyle.
18 times to get him back.
I would
Like
have. What about
Budsy Marr.
What about that Pats team back in the? Would Dean would walk into all these teams?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no team he
No,
can't
oh,
get
yeah.
into.
Okay.
Like Ross Townsend, I always
And
liked
be
watching
outstanding in
play.
any team.
Yeah.
Ross was a fine player, long hair, always liked watching him play.
Totty.
There was a player up in Kilkenny that I would like it to him who was
Scotchy,
out in Thomastown. Very similar type of player and kind of elegant on the ball, shall we say.
Yeah.
I always thought Ross was a great
He
player.
refused to come on a podcast, you know. Ross
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah. Why Ross?
Yeah, why, Ross? Tell me why.
Yeah, he's a lad. I
Little cabin
loved
still.
him. But Drennan, I would say, is similar
Yeah.
stature that way in Kilkenny, like
Yeah.
talent wise. Yeah,
He bundles of it, hasn't
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's even reached his peak.
Not the same
Dino.
player.
No, I
as
don't
in
think he like
athleticism and
he? As Dino.
I don't think so. He's
No.
a different type of player, but
Like-
talent wise,
Mikey
So
went into
good at
Shamrock
finding
Rovers and I think he scored 6 in a
The
row.
10
Yeah,
yards,
that's
that's
right.
free.
Yeah.
You know.
And getting in a turn, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm in trouble here. Can't let him
Yeah.
turn. Because he
Like-
picks the pass or scores the goal.
the goal in the semi final, people talk about and saying where was the left full? The left full was Ian Birmingham, right? Who's now he's old, but
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing. Like,
Yeah.
but Mikey,
Do you know the
Mikey
difference
could have been in the park on his
difference-
own.
Yeah, the difference in
Yeah.
Mikey.
Oh,
in Birmingham.
no.
The difference in Mikey and Dean is that they get the ball in certain areas when it's like they're going to damage a team,
Yes.
and they'll play a little 1-2 into the forward, and sometimes they'll go, but the only when they go is when the midfielder takes his eye off and that's supposed to be marking. He looks
Correct.
this way, they are gone.
Gone, yeah.
And you can't catch them then. Because
No,
the run
no.
is that good.
No,
And
that-
that's the
no.
difference in Mikey and Dean to any other player in the field from both teams.
And to be honest,
That's what I think.
the next
show.
couple, if Evergreen win this, I think the next couple of years, Mikey Drennan will show how good he is in junior football.
Well, you talk about making runs and this and that and everything. I don't think there's anyone striker-wise in either team as good as Grinny. Because
Yeah,
Grinny
in
hasn't
centre forward,
started.
yeah.
He won't start, will he?
He's not.
No.
I wouldn't say he'd start.
I'd be
He hasn't
surprised.
started a lot of their games, but he's their top scorer.
Why is he not
Big.
starting games? This is
Too old.
For 54.
54.
And that's all it is. Like,
He'd
55
struggle
at the end of
with-
May.
He'd
Hips are
struggle
killing
on
all the
the
money he brings around.
Yeah, he'd struggle on the Astros. You know, the ground
Yeah.
and Grinny's been playing
How long?
high level football.
Game wise, how
since-
long will he get Sunday?
Grinny?
Will he play the last half hour?
No,
Yeah.
depending on the
I
score.
don't, I don't think so. 20
If it's a
minutes.
tight game with 20 minutes to go, he's
Yeah,
coming off the
He might
bench.
come on the
Yeah,
off the bench.
yeah.
If
20
you walk
minutes
or
ago.
2 up at half time, is he on at half time?
No.
No, I think Andrew comes on
Andrew
before
comes on
him
first.
with energy and everything to all that, and I think Grinny comes on and finishes you off. Not saying he'll do that to New Oak.
Yeah.
I'm saying in general as a
That's the
that
pattern,
would be
right?
my
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of watching.
I don't think if New Oak go 2-0 up in 20 minutes, Evergreen massively change it.
I think
They
New
will
Walker. I think
keep-
New Walker are the very same.
Well, I noticed that when we played Kilkenny in the Oscars.
There's no,
You know, I noticed that we went up and I'm thinking, this lad hasn't come after us here.
no, they'll keep
They just kept trying to do the same
plodding
thing.
and popping and
Yeah.
trying to open it up, and you know, it's patterns. They play patterns all the time,
And then you're hoping,
and they have that quality.
you're hoping
Yeah.
then that maybe you go to the subs and it's 0-0, and maybe somebody that doesn't produce a bit of magic, maybe it's going to be their day. Maybe it's going to be something.
Yeah.
You know, some lad that comes in and goes, look, we just need you to close out, and the ball drops, and he puts it in the top
I'd
bin.
be shocked if there's loads of goals in it, lads.
Yeah.
I think they're
I
both
don't
set up.
think-
I think there's potential for it to could beat
No,
up
I don't think there
with
is.
the players on the field.
I
No,
think they
I
all have a they all
I
have
think you're right.
that
It's going to be a
bit in them,
2-1,
like.
but I
I
think
think it'll be
going to
cagey.
Yeah.
It'll take a mistake for a goal in the first half.
Do you don't think it's going to be
Or a
100 mile an
set
hour?
piece. I think it'll be
What are you doing if you're the manager in New York? How are you approaching this?
play to your strengths. Like
Terrible
it'll be-
answer.
What do you mean?
How are you approaching? Everyone plays their strengths, man.
No, but no.
How
hold
are
on
you,
for a
like,
second.
you know, what are you doing? Are you going after? Are you sitting in? Are you low, mid? Like, what are you doing?
There's,
sure,
there's
the
a better
first-
question. What would you do if you were the Evergreen manager?
Don't turn up.
Against, no, but what would you do? What would you do against the walk?
What would I
What
do?
would you do against the walk?
Drop off, let him have it, and make him kick it to us.
Would you?
Yeah,
No.
I wouldn't go chase them.
And see, that's
I
the
think
thing.
I think you want your walk facing their own goal.
That's the thing with Evergreen.
You
That's
get
what
turned.
it's the real.
Yeah.
They have
And I think
that
Evergreen are the same.
5-a-side, 6-a-side mentality of as Graham said earlier, they wait for that one player to pull out of that gap.
They wait for the break in the chain,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So unless I'm looking at that, I'm no Oaks manager. I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, unless they have an unbelievable rotation, right, where their midfield three are rotating constantly from a 6 to an 8 to a 10, you could be in trouble then, right? Because that's hard to do. If they're 40 yards, 50 yards away up and going, they're playing little passes, let them have it.
Yeah, I'd understand that, yeah.
But I would. But I'll go back to my first point. I would genuinely go after them for the first 10 or 15 minutes. I would try and force them back, and once the keeper has it, retreat.
The last thing, if I was manager of either team, the last thing I'd want is
There wouldn't be in the Leinster final.
30. We got there before, wouldn't it?
Touche.
Last thing I would want was, say, Evergreen's Mikey Drennan or Decky McQuillan, 25 yards out, getting the ball in space and looking at your goal. And the same at the other end, Jordan and Dino, 20, 25 yards from goal and looking at your goal, because what about them, especially Mikey and Dino, they're lads I liken to Ollie Welch. They aim. You know, some lads just take a shot. These lads look, I'm putting it there.
Yeah.
And they put it where they're looking.
Precision, yeah.
So you can't. I don't think you can give either of them a half a
But
second.
I think both goalkeepers know that as well.
Yeah.
If you're playing against, you're facing Dean, you're like, this is hitting the target here.
You have to be on your toes straight away.
Where you don't know what's coming from some other players.
Yeah, you don't know.
They might bury in the top corner.
They might hit the cat.
But he's hurting you every single time.
Every time,
He's working you anyway.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
He's hitting the target.
And this
and I think players feed on that as well. Like, if you're a really good striker, like Grinny comes off the bench. If Mikey picks up a room with 25 yards to go on his shot, Grinny's on the move already. Andy Wall.
You'll see it when he comes on, Grinny. If Mikey is on the pitch, there's no thinking of it even. Mikey gets the ball. The movement is there.
Well, even that's where the goal came from. The ball actually came to Grinny, and Grinny played it into Mikey.
Just played it without
the semi-final.
Yeah.
That goal was all about the pass, by the way.
Yeah, that was Grinny's
and
pass.
It didn't cost them
of all
like
the
just
took it in, turn, bang.
They know where each other are, don't they?
Yeah.
Take Grinny, Andrew Wall, said Mikey, Harmon and Dino out of it. Who wins it then?
I'm telling you now. No, I'm telling you, Lee Delaney.
Yeah.
He won the
It's a great question.
Seriously,
It's a great question, boy.
Seriously, think on set pieces. He is a game changer.
Can you see
both boxes?
For me,
Can you
Lee
see
Walker
Dickie
wins
with
it.
that
Really
Lee Walker,
Lee
yeah.
Walker wins it for me.
Keane Cleary, lads.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Keane Cleary.
How highly do you rate Lee Walker?
I'm sure he spent most of the winter up in the mountains chasing deer and all. He's after getting more hardship than anything. That lads don't know about the hardship that he can give you as well. I tell you,
Yeah.
you know that well.
What's your prediction, Graham?
I think Evergreen will win it 2-0.
Your Evergreen
And I
and
think
Pens.
it'll be late.
I think if it goes to penalties, I don't think it'll go to penalties.
Okay.
I think it'll be an extra time 1-0, and I think it'll Evergreen 1-0 in extra time.
Hit me, Demo.
I think Evergreen on penalties. I think 1-1 during the game, and I'll go Evergreen 3-2 on penalties.
So, and you're no walk 2-1.
It's a 90-minute game for me, and you walk winning.
Yeah, I'm no walk on penalties. But the one thing I will say, I think the five of us can be in agreement in, it's going to be tight, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think it's shaping up to be one of the best, in most recent times, one of the best Leinster final
This could be
matchups
better
we've
than the
ever
FAI
had.
Junior Cup final.
Could be.
better
Yeah, I mean,
game.
it's definitely one of the most evenly matched
so.
affairs.
And you know what's great?
Recent years.
We know the weather's going to be good. We know there's loads of car parking.
Yeah.
There's no excuse not to be at it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no sitting there. What am I going to do today?
But
Get down for a quality game of football.
It's two clubs that need to win it. One needs to win it as much as the other does.
I agree with that
you
point.
know, and
Well, I think
there's no
100%.
record in, like, you know, we've won 3 before.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Our club has it. Both of
Yeah.
them. Both of them are on a serious path
Yeah.
that this will.
Well, no walk out 35 Leinster, don't forget that. Not that that makes any difference, but
It does.
Well, it's
You know-
been massive. Like, it's not just heartbreak; it's massive heartbreak from whoever loses this
Yeah,
game.
well, this is the thing about
It's a big
Coming,
effect,
coming
like.
back after
the
that.
return, the
How do you-
return
how
to
do you get back
pre-season
up
after
and do
getting
this
better
again?
that is
Yeah.
tough, right?
us tough, yeah.
Oh,
And
it's massive.
if you want to be the biggest thing about sport, if you want to be successful at the top in any level of sport, you have to be prepared for massive heartache. You have to be prepared for massive heartache. If you're not able to take disappointment,
It's a
you'll never win at big.
I know that song, but never heard that version. But
Yeah, come here and tell you, we have rapid fire questions.
Okay.
To be honest with you, the questions aren't that great. No, to be honest with you, I think it was 6th class in some school asked the questions. But yeah, how sad will you be when Kilkenny? How sad will you be when Kilkenny sad lose? That's one
Is he the same
question.
lad that sent you the text the other
My
day?
God, we won't even ask that.
Oh, it's first one ever.
Would you chat a few minutes about the Carl teams that played in Kilkenny down through? I think we've already done that, right?
Yeah, some great teams.
Yeah.
Great teams. Great battles. tough. Hanover coming up. And I remember the warm-up, and they used to do this kind of shout when they be...
Hanover playing Kilkenny, but...
No, I played up in competitions. We played them a few
Oh,
years.
the pre-season competitions
Yeah,
and all
and
that,
they'd be, I remember even looking at them going, Jesus Christ, what are they doing? It's like fucking...
Guerrilla
mountain
warfare
men.
when you come to
Yeah.
I'll never forget we knocked you out with the Leinster Junior Cup the year after you won it.
Yeah.
That's one of my greatest achievements in sport.
We were still drunk.
We were a good side though.
You were a good side.
You were
We're a
quite a
good
good
side,
dog,
yeah.
lads.
You were a good side.
Yeah.
You were very good. We bet you won it.
And I remember,
And you're both
do you
very
remember
handsome.
Aldo
Thanks, bud.
Marini?
Yeah.
Aldo, yeah.
Yeah, I
Aldo,
was
do
only
you
a young
remember
lad now.
Aldo,
And-
some player.
I'll never forget because
From a
you
tie.
think he was a superstar.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if he was a good soccer player.
Yeah.
He always
I
looked.
think his brother, I think there's a story about his brother Silvio.
Silvio
He got
Marino.
booked. And the referee asked him, what's your name? He said, Silvio Marini. You can be a real name now. And he goes, my name is Silvio Marini. And he goes, second yellow card for you if you don't give me your real name. He goes, my name is Silvio Marini. That's him having no more of you. And the second yellow card in the red, and he got off he went. What's my name is Silvio Marini? Yeah.
Yeah, Aldo was very good. He's of all the pats that he got for years as well. Up to recently, they got honoured at the 50th anniversary. The team that won I think it was quadruple the one in Carlow.
You get a lot of ex-players coming back and helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as many as you want.
Yeah.
You know, but you would get a lot of like all the committee and that'll be all ex. Well, 90% of them will be all ex-players, I suppose,
Okay.
or ex-officers or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it'd be the
yeah.
same in Hanover, right?
Yeah, there would be a lot involved, yeah. Taking their
And how's the developments in Hanover going? Are you putting in the Astro?
train, yeah, still working on it, but
Still working on it.
it's hard. It's in the middle of housing estates and all that, so it's not as straightforward as you like. But
Yeah.
look,
How's the flood?
We're still waiting
Oh,
9,000 years
They're
for it.
building an ark.
Yeah, for planning permission for an hour.
Waiting for the 1,000-year flood. You can't even get a drop of rain. Sick.
What do you make of the time in the venue of the game? What time is the game? At half two?
Have to.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm all right with it.
I'm alright
I'm
with
alright
time,
with
but
both,
not
I
right
would
the
just
venue.
prefer
Fine
it
up,
on.
Pop.
No, I like it. It's location wise it's good, but it should be a League of Ireland ground.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
respect
I
to
get you
Goalkeepers.
that, yeah.
It should be.
To
It
be fair.
should be a League of
And
Ireland ground.
it's flat around the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
if
no
you're
rails
not there
there.
early,
No,
No.
you're limited what you're going to see.
No, I'd agree with that. Time is great. They definitely could have went to a better.
I would have
ground.
rather done on a Saturday evening.
Yeah,
I just
they'd rather
think
on
it
a
gives
different weekend.
people.
so would I.
Leave it the following weekend to the bank holiday.
Yeah,
Is the bank holiday again the weekend after?
Pretty sure, yeah.
You're joking me.
I think so.
Would have been great, wouldn't it?
Bank holidays are
It is,
ridiculous.
for a wedding.
It's not your wedding anyway, because I want to marry you. If the
I
won't
was
be...
going to say something. Oh, no.
Oh,
Go ahead, go ahead.
no,
We might never talk again.
No, say it.
No, I won't say that. No.
If
It's unusual. Listen to me to say that.
yeah, it must be gore bad. If the won't be Evergreen, would Kilkenny League accept that Carlow is ahead of them in football and standards? I think the acceptance is already there, is it?
I don't think he'll ever accept it.
I don't think you should
It
accept
doesn't.
it.
No, you shouldn't, but I think
No,
it's a
It doesn't
reality,
define
isn't
what
it?
leagues.
No,
Every Kilkenny left their opinion and Carlow
Yeah.
theirs. That's it.
Well, even talking about
I do think it'll benefit the Carlow League hugely because of the way it's going.
I would agree
Yeah.
with that.
Do you know what I mean? It's going so well, and now if this gets over the line, it's like Jesus, off we go.
Yeah, I do agree
Whereas
with
if
that.
Evergreen win it, everyone is
Business.
still busting nuts because they're miles behind.
Yeah.
So it would be a huge boost for.
Yeah, well, I
answer,
said
yeah.
it.
The
But,
Carlow
but,
League,
but
like-
again, it's not Evergreen's fault, lads.
No.
You know?
But steps are already underway. I'm glad to say.
What do you mean?
Don't have big shoes to make them steps.
We have new management coming in. I think I'm hoping.
Oh, you're talking about freebooters?
yeah, and I'm hoping.
Is he ever talking about
I
it?
was just going to say
Will
for a change.
will they ever get back?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a Freebooters burger in McDonald's or something like that?
No.
Aye.
What's everything talks about Freebooters this, Freebooters that?
Well, you see, I don't know about G, but we had no choice. I keep saying this. We had no choice. It's like Everton and what's his name,
We
Tony
didn't have
Bellew
any
said.
choice.
Yeah.
No.
We were
No,
chosen.
there was
We didn't
no-
have a
Yeah, it's a
choice.
vocation,
We
right?
didn't have a fucking
That's only
choice.
because it was
Is Shawnee still there? No.
Yeah. He is and he
He'll
isn't.
always be there, won't
He'll
he?
always
Oh,
Is he involved in the boat or Shawnee still?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, stop.
Bad time.
Even
for
when
him.
he's not involved,
You cut,
he's
you cut his
Yeah.
legs, his blue comes out of that.
Would you go
Yeah.
back?
No.
Do you go
I
back?
would possibly help.
No, I don't think it'd be any benefit whatsoever.
As,
Me going
as
back.
a Celtic
No,
supporter, I don't
no,
think
no.
Shawnee will be happy
No,
with you
it's-
saying
it
if you
needs-
cut his
it's-
legs blue.
Yeah,
and
well,
that.
That's
That's
some-
some-
that's some-
I wouldn't mind helping.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'd be
up
any
to under
benefit.
12s and just
Nursery.
letting them play. You know, because we were watching a game there lately, and it was only last night. It was under 12s, and Jesus, the restrictions on the players. Go here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, go there, and coaches roaring and shouting. I'd like to go up to 12s and I'd love to see a young lad going, trying to pirouette and chipping it over lad's head. And
Yeah, I love that.
Maybe he loses the ball, but he tries again
cares?
the next time. there's so much I'm winning at that age.
I love that you think that you'd let teams do that.
I would let
You'd be
teams
telling
do
them
that.
go to the back AstroTurf there. And do
I
it.
would.
Like 3 you go over and kick the ball off the back of each other's heads.
I actually have stopped going to juvenile games.
Yeah.
Was that a good one last night?
Yeah.
Hanover and you walk under 15 cup.
Was it good?
Good game, yeah. End to end.
Good.
You walk win.
You walk won and but Hanover won the league and you walk won the semi-final last night.
Good.
Basically the final. I think they were playing Ballymurphy. Both of them were
What,
fancy to
can
beat
I ask
Ballymurphy.
you a question?
You can
Like
ask me
you're
any
in the
question.
plots, right? What is it about Hanover that makes them so hard to beat in there? I know it's a stupid question, but I was down there. I went to watch a couple of teams and said, should be able to handle them, and they're beating teams left, right, and centre. And no disrespect, a couple of teams I saw, I didn't see any magic in them. But then when you play them, it's like bloody hell. There's no end to them, like.
Yeah, it's just
we
it's a hard
stole
place to
one
go.
from up
Like,
there
I
this
remember
year.
Sheriff coming there,
Yeah,
barely got over the line. That North End team came,
yeah.
scored late. Even when the year we set up, we had 2 games against. I said it was a 2-game league against Ballymurphy. That Great New York team that came took 2 penalties to beat us.
Yeah.
Now they had all the ball and all that. We were like could have scored a couple of goals in the break. It's just the venue. I don't know what it is. It's just
And is
just,
your catchment area, is it there or is it all
no,
over
it's
Carlow?
everywhere. It's everywhere.
is it?
Yeah.
Well, would you say there's a type of person plays for Hanover?
A lunatic.
What's
Yeah.
happening there?
Yeah. I don't know.
I genuinely think there's freebooters people. I really do.
Yeah.
Why?
no, it's-
Why would you think that?
I just
Why would
think
you
there's-
pigeonhole someone to
No,
be?
It's a from when we were there. It's a character, not a freebooters person.
I
It's
don't
a
mean.
character.
Yeah.
It's the character of the person.
Yeah.
There's this.
The
lads that-
club isn't that anymore, but he's so no
No.
matter what you want
No,
it to
but
be,
say
it's not
what I
it is.
think. You can't tell me what I think. Like.
Well, I can tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, you can tell me I'm wrong, but you won't be right.
I would because you're telling me the club is the same as when you
I'm not
left
saying
it.
it's the same. I said there's a type of person that plays for.
No, but
would like to have a freebooter.
I think you're blind to that.
Yeah.
I think that
Why?
it's the type of person because you're winning a lot of things. So
Yeah,
freebooters people are type of people are winners.
I
No.
think
Yeah.
people got carried away with. We would have been very like E. I don't think we would never have been as. I don't think this Evergreen team is as good as previous Evergreen teams.
Right.
Okay.
There have been better Evergreen teams, and there were better Evergreen teams than us that couldn't
Didn't
beat
win.
us.
Yeah, didn't win.
Because of it. Just
Something he had.
yeah. So I do think, like with Hanover and with when you're talking about someone's character, there is a certain character that defines a club. Now that can be lost, and it's a bit lost in some.
It's
clubs.
lost with us.
Yeah, but you can always get that back. Like
You
course you
see,
can,
here's where you are, right?
This
You'd
is
be
the New York
the
and Evergreen
freebooters, so I understand
Leicester
Pats,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that in my opinion, St. Pat's the best club in Carlow, right? But I'm also a realist,
I'm a
and I
realist
said
too.
that it's actually very hard to be consistently the best at something if things aren't been done wrong. And so St. Pat's only got relegated 4 years ago, and then they started doing things right again.
Yeah, but could you see things being done wrong at that time?
Yeah, but
Yeah, and I could
involved.
see the freebooters, but they don't want to fucking listen to you when you're telling them to do it wrong.
Yeah, but it's not none of your business because I'm not involved.
Yeah, but
No.
no, it is your business
no,
because
it's
you're a
not.
St. Pat's man.
No,
Yes,
no,
it
I wasn't
is.
involved.
No, it doesn't matter about being involved. Do you have the best of the club at heart?
So if you're,
Do
if
you
you're
have the best of the club at heart?
Oh yeah, I love the
Yeah,
club.
and you're putting a load of work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then you're entitled to your fucking opinion.
No,
and if
no,
they don't like
no.
it, they can kiss your hole. But you have to tell them the fucking truth. You have to tell
No,
them the
it's
truth.
none of your business because I'm not involved.
No, bullshit.
No, he's dead right.
Bullshit.
I'd agree
no,
with
you
him.
shut up.
I'd agree with him
Bullshit.
100%.
No.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in there every
I would
week.
rant and rave and give out and whinge and moan about the place.
No, if you've put in years
But-
of effort and work and done things and you know it's done right, and lads are doing it fucking wrong, you have every right to go up and tell them, dude, this is our club, fucking do it
So
that way.
if you see a guard given a ticket for a wrong reason, you're an ex-guard, you can walk over and tell him that he's wrong.
And not true. No,
No,
different.
you just can't. Like.
You can. No, you fucking can.
no, I think you can have a passionate perspective about it, but
Or meant
the difference I would have from you is when you're gone over it, you're gone over it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we're,
what. Yeah.
I hope Booters win the league. I hope to win the Leinster Junior Cup next year, but they're not going to. And it's you just have to say. But I can say that team is not good enough, or I don't think that should be done. But you can't go knocking lads.
But if you know something's wrong, would you not tell them you can
stop.
change it?
It's just
But
relax
that's
for a
like
second.
going into the shop and telling them they're selling the wrong fucking sweets.
You
Like, there's
can't
nothing to do with it.
Would you still follow the results and all that of
Yeah.
Freebooters clause? You see, I separate myself completely.
No,
Yeah.
See,
'Cause it just
not
was like
before,
one-
we had it was 20 yards across the road. There was nothing else, only football. My sister's fucking played football.
Yeah,
no,
but
he's
listen,
you shut up. You're 10 years younger, right?
Listen, you're getting carried away.
Stop for a minute. Let me talk.
You're not.
Stop for a minute.
I'm going to head
Listen,
off.
stop for a second. Stop for a second.
Go ahead then, stop.
When you're gone out of the club, you're gone out of the club, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Listen, you just stop for a second.
Break.
Papa, if he's gone out of Hanover for the next 5 years, he can come back and say to Podge, if Podge is involved, Podge, listen, that needs to be changed or that. But he's not going to go in and do it. Like he's gone over it. If you're not in the middle of it,
Correct.
you can have your opinion.
He's
but
allowed
you
to
have
tell him.
He is, but you can't demand it. You have to let people make their mistakes.
Demand him, but you have to
No,
tell
there's
You
him.
have
no.
to
I
let it
wouldn't
be.
dispute that.
Not
You can
demanding.
tell him,
And
but
this
they
is
don't.
the Evergreen New
They don't
Orleans
have to do
Junior
it.
preview.
Yeah.
I just
How are we
throw
talking
it
about
back in there.
Freeboarders?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're talking about
And they
clubs.
absolutely nothing to do with the Leinster
No.
Junior
I
Cup.
was
And they
asking
won't be
Papa
for a
about
long time.
Hanover,
Yeah, and then you start shouting about freeboarders.
and you haven't added to the conversation at all.
Can we get back to the questions?
Because he was refereeing.
Yeah, fuck me.
Here's I actually like this question. I know it's a bit off topic as well. Best amateur side of all times, the best junior side of all time.
Sheriff.
Jesus, that
How
Fairview
about the St.
Rangers
Michael's team
team.
that better than the same
No.
final?
Sheriff for me.
Fairview Rangers, Graham.
Fairview were excellent, but I would the football that Sheriff team played,
Yeah, I'd agree. Sheriff
and
were the
then
best.
even though they were done
I've
for
seen.
it, the time they went and bet shells in the
Crazy, isn't it?
like William Malloy scored that goal from
Why did they get
35.
The yards,
Someone
yeah.
wasn't registered or some
Yeah.
rubbish came out about it or something. But
After winning the game
but
like
they
that.
went and done shells, and they didn't just go and sit in and we beat them. They went and done them.
They were 2 down. Came back going 3-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, and William Malloy, I'll never forget the goal he scored. But they went and did them. They didn't like even too long. They didn't like go. We're going to hold on it. They went and played. That Sheriff team where you had the Kavanagh's. Was it Kavanagh's? Anto and
No, not Cavan.
Murphy's.
Yeah.
They had the
Murphy's,
goalkeeper.
yeah.
You had the centre half.
Yeah.
Like
Wing back.
your man John Rock, Leicester.
Whacker?
Yeah.
Like
Leicester, yeah.
they were.
Whacker, yeah.
I think that's the best junior team.
Yeah, that's a good
And
show.
big disappointment was we never got a shot to play him.
We
Not
got a
that
shot
you'd have
at too
done
late
it.
and they gave us a
No,
lesson.
but
Not
you would
that
love
you've
to play
done
him,
it.
wouldn't
Love
you?
just to see
Yeah.
where you'd
We went up to one
be
day
like.
and we were nowhere near as good as we were. I was only helping out with some lads and they gave us a lesson. I tell you, the cheekiest thing I ever heard was Whacker was over there. We were on the sideline. There was 2 freeboarders lads and Whacker comes over and another comes over. He said, all right, he said, I'll mark these 2. I thought you cheeky.
No, I think
they were
they
brilliant.
were exceptional.
Yeah.
I see
Came
you
up.
running quite close up there one time. Remember, I went up to watch
In
you.
the Platts, yeah. I was playing
No,
that.
in.
Oh,
you
Sheriff.
were over them. I know they ended up in 3 or 4-0, but the first 20 minutes you were all over. Remember the keeper made a save with Graham Header?
Yeah.
He was if it's the Murphy goal, like he was a brilliant
Oh,
goalkeeper
my
as well.
God.
He'd no right to save it.
An
right to
unbelievable
save.
penalty record.
Graham had gone off. He was gone off. Graham Delaney. He was gone off
Yeah.
celebrating.
And he
How
said-
in the name of
Oh, really?
Jesus?
Yeah, super side.
Damo, what's your favourite junior team?
I was first to say Sheriff, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
that Fairview
That,
team
Mike,
wouldn't have been.
that Michael side, that bet, they were
Michael
good
signed
with
with
Chalky
Chalky
Walsh.
and all,
Yeah, but did they
Chalky.
consistently win the big trophies?
Green.
The club would have been there, but
Michaels
most.
were always there. They've won a good few monsters, and
Yeah.
they won
Still
a,
at, though.
and they're
They're
still at.
quarterfinals,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
Final all the time,
always-
isn't
Didn't Fairview win
always-
4 FAIs in a row or something?
I thought they went
Or was it
more.
7 or?
7 in
Fairview was a
Fairview?
serious
Oh,
team,
Jesus.
yeah.
7
Unbelievable
in a
outfit.
certain 9 years. Or
I think Sheriff
But
was
the
right in
football
Fairview
I'd say
Sheriff
Sheriff
played
on it,
was
yeah.
Yeah.
even the kit with the star,
Yeah.
the badge, like
Yeah.
for junior soccer, they were just like there was just something about
Sheriff's
them,
badge.
Yeah, unbelievable. Sheriff's badge. Never thought.
So that makes sense, bud.
This is what I'm dealing with.
There wasn't a rocking horse around on the
I
other. You know
just
what I mean?
presumed it was Sheriff Street, like you know. Like,
Sheriff's
I know,
badge.
but I never
I think
thought.
they are.
I
It's
know
almost-
that, I know, but I never thought of it as a Sheriff's
It's
badge.
Sheriff
Brilliant.
YC.
Yeah,
It's
Sheriff Youth Club, yeah.
Excellent. It's a Sheriff badge.
Anto Haney came down from
Fairview were
Dublin.
better, yeah.
Chap came down and played with us from Sheriff.
Anto. Good
And
player,
he
wasn't he?
won the Leinster Junior, yeah.
He was over them then. He took him. Did
Yeah.
he take?
He was there this year.
He was there
Was
this year.
he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
filled
At the
in.
end.
Took
Filled in
over,
to the
yeah.
end of the season.
Well, how did it?
They kept it steady.
They gave a walkover.
Gave a walk over the other night. It was a disgrace.
Last question. Carlow and Kilkenny leagues, which is better? We've only asked it 15 times. I know for a fact that Carlow
It's
league is
Kilkenny,
better.
yeah.
Not even you said that.
Papa the van. How long have we
I'd
gone, lads? About 9.5 hours,
Yeah.
it feels like.
I'd just like to actively apologise to Damien Raggett again tonight.
Why?
Because just he's going to kill me when I go out to the car for some reason.
It's not easy, boys. It's just not easy. Like you fucking.
I'm easy.
He says I don't speak, but he wouldn't
Great
get a
to
fucking
have.
chance.
It's great to have.
Do you know what's unfortunate? The 2 you're not going to be there Sunday. That's
Oh, no,
killer,
we'll
isn't
get it. I'll watch it. We'll get it on a
Oh, the
VOR. or
panorama
something.
is terrible, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
killer,
the heart
isn't it?
attack of it.
See
Oh,
the
like,
stress
my
on your
God.
face, man. Do you love golf that much? You do?
I sure just go. I love
He's-
going.
he's deadly at it.
Spain.
Is he?
Spain is brilliant. Yeah.
I hate golf.
You came third in the Pats Classic there the weekend. James, producer.
Yeah.
James carried him. I heard.
I played him. I was up in caddying.
Yeah.
James had to get
Hey,
physio
look,
the next day.
the big
Yeah,
one,
he was in bits.
the big one after the Leinster Junior is the foot golf.
Oh yeah, we're fuck off then. Yeah,
We should have been entered in that.
Next, yeah.
I could be the manager.
you still
It's
can.
too late. Yeah, come on. The two boys could play.
I don't even have a hip anymore. Never mind.
Actually, you don't need it.
Randy will take everything. We'll do the putt. We'll do everything.
Raggett, you could have a career at. You could have a career
I've had
at.
enough fucking careers of jokes now. I'm alright where I am.
Oh Lord.
Well, look, what I will say is, I think it's fantastic for soccer in both counties, and it's badly needed in Kilkenny, and it's badly needed in Carlow to get a different name on that trophy, and it's only going to be good. And I really hope they walk through it. As much as that absolutely kills me to say it, I genuinely hope to win the cup to Leinster.
It's going to be a brilliant game. I think there's
Definitely.
two sets of players on show that is just awesome as a group. Benches will be important. I don't see many goals in it, being honest, but
I
I hope you walk get the job done.
I can
I
just
think
see
they will, but
the trophy going back down the Kilkenny Road. That's all I can say. Lad. I can't see anything else. I just see it heading back into Kilkenny.
I think it
That's all I
stops
can
in the
see.
Popish, to be honest with you.
Into the Kells Road.
I just make sure no one just don't have any regrets. Any of them.
that's the
Just
main thing,
don't-
isn't it? Yeah, empty the tank.
Don't think of anything else. Just
If
give
your
it
shift
everything.
is done,
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah.
it's a proper shift you're after doing.
Don't.
I'd
leave
say if
anything
anyone
there.
is listening to it and thinking, will I, won't I go?
Oh,
Definitely
100%.
go.
That's the last
If
thing
you're
I'm gonna say,
available to
lads.
go.
Go down
Yeah.
to the game.
Like-
I'm gutted I can't make it.
And live, it'll be brilliant. It'll be
We're
brilliant.
away, but
Yeah.
it will be recorded, and hopefully I'll get some kind of fucking coverage of it. But
And I'm sure Christie's will be rocking Sunday night.
Exactly. Yeah.
full of tears, I'd say. I want to wish Gavin all the
Cup will
best.
be full of them.
Yeah, as look, I work with
and the rest of them.
Eddie.
Eddie
I'm a
as
cousin
well,
of
yeah.
Gavin.
What's your cousin? Is he?
Yeah,
Everyone that comes is a cousin.
No, two grandfathers, brothers.
Nice.
So, Amos fucking Wilkes over here beside me. Fuck's sake. But yeah, it's as a, they're friends of mine as well as
Yeah.
enemies as you're coaching against them. But I genuinely hope to get the job done. And Mikey, I met him on the podcast, a good lad.
Good lad.
But,
Nice lad.
I hope you walk get the job done.
Been a
and
long
it's-
journey
it'll
for
be
him
an
too.
epic, an epic game. Be a brilliant game.
Yeah.
I hope it is. I hope two teams go at and the referee has a good performance on the day as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that's as important as both teams.
Well, Graham
The
probably
referee can
knows
have a good game.
both benches more than anybody. Gavin and Craig and Gary and
Yeah.
you know. I
All I'd say is just don't. As I said, just don't. I do think Evergreen will win it. But just don't.
Tell
have
me this,
any-
Graham. Do you miss them big days as a player?
Yeah, only the day. Just
Oh.
the day. The game.
Nuts.
Not and before it or the training but the game is.
Demo.
Yeah, I still get a buzz out of Division 2 Cup finals, you know. No matter what I've done, playing anything, even the six-a-side stuff with Ireland, biggest thrill I got was winning a shield last year with my son. You know, that's
Brilliant, isn't it?
yeah,
Amazing,
you know.
yeah.
Do you miss them?
7 minutes ago, yeah.
Because you see the way the conversation we just had there when I kind of get a bit.
That wasn't a conversation.
There was an
that
awful
was me
lot
with
of that.
fire extinguisher
I had
trying
to
to
do
put
an
you
awful
out.
lot of that.
That was assault.
Back then.
Verbal assault.
No, seriously, I had to do an awful lot of that. First, I had to prove myself in the club. That should be around the A team. That was a big thing for me. I had to prove it. A lot of players.
Do you always get resistance?
I would. I'm a fractious character, though. I am.
He pushes.
You
I
know,
have to say, I
do.
like you, I have to say.
If there's, I'll be
Papa
honest
not
with
so
you.
much.
If I think,
I think he's related
I
to
think
Damien Duff.
if a lad puts down
he's a
10
psychopath.
jerseys and doesn't put you down the 11th one, I become, why didn't you do that? And that's just me.
Yeah, but I think when you said that's just me, is that when your man gives you the answer why he didn't know the 11-1 is where you disagree even more.
Yeah, I don't. Two things I never believed in, and one was it's not our day. You know this thing. I wasn't our day.
I hate that.
I don't believe
or
in
do
that
I
shit.
hate?
Well,
That's football.
That's football. Bullshit.
That annoys me so
That's
much.
it. I wasn't our day today.
Oh, that winds me up. That's
Podge,
football.
that is football.
That's not
No,
fucking
but-
football.
but it's the biggest hateful
Oh, it does wind you
crap
up,
I
I see.
ever heard. Is I just wasn't our day today. Rubbish. Absolutely
Yeah,
rubbish.
I'd subscribe
Yeah,
to
well,
that now.
Leinster finals don't come that often.
No,
So
no.
make sure
Yeah.
it is your day, whichever one wins.
Exactly, yeah.
110%.
Just the stress of getting to them things.
And the Kilkenny lad is going to win it regardless, whichever way it goes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You're
it'll be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So I have two
Dotsy,
nephews and a son on
yeah.
the other side.
You've three.
Dotsy
of
from
them.
How was I
Paulstown.
to know that? I didn't know that.
I
Dotsy
was,
from Paulstown.
even I was there going, how did we not hear this?
I got the text then again.
Yeah, but he knew. I didn't know. I just knew he lived in Paulstown. I
Sure,
thought,
you
how-
told us last week a young lad from Fort Rangers from
Well, he was there. He lived
from
in Portland.
Clonmel,
Yeah.
and he lives in Kilkenny.
Yeah,
I don't
came
know.
through Carmelo.
I'm telling you, whoever is giving you your information and making your bookings,
Is
which I was
lying.
sorting out on the phone
No,
here.
that's wrong on the other side, not this side.
Oh, I'll get again.
Not my
Is it
side,
like the
no,
spelling?
yeah, nothing to do with any of
Is
this.
it like the spelling?
I just want to also add, we did invite Johnny down with you as well. He's away.
Yeah, he's
Johnny's
away
away,
Dublin
yeah.
a couple of nights, yeah.
We're glad he's not here.
Hey, Johnny.
Then he has 6 of us in here. Would have been.
Johnny, I got a free top as well. Damn, what it.
Yeah. Johnny, I had one for
Sardines
you,
in
but
the
you
tin.
weren't
Yeah, but
here.
hang on. Ye fucking got your free tops off the How Easy podcast.
Yeah.
I fucking
You did.
supported him and bought
You
a
did.
top off him.
Well, Damien, the
You
next
wouldn't
one
even
we-
listen to him until I told you to, so don't be giving me that
Thanks,
shit.
Damo.
Well, that is
Shout
true.
out Demo,
Damo, the
thanks.
next one, the next round
Shut
of
up your
jersey will
hole.
get.
I tell you what you're going to come down here now on Monday and we'll let you hold the cup.
Wait, how will you have it?
In the studio.
I'll give Lee Walker a shout there as he's around.
Anyway, lads,
Anyway,
thanks so
lads,
much for
as
coming
always,
on.
brilliant.
Brilliant, boys. Thanks
for having us.
for having
us.
Thanks for having us, lads.
I want to say that Bagnallstown are doing, what's that called? Hell and Back.
Hell and back.
On the weekend, there's 23 of them going there and going down 5 o'clock Saturday morning. They're starting at. Best of luck to them. And if anyone wants to donate, just check out the socials.
Mort
once
Marriage, your
again,
man there, lads.
Best of luck, yeah. Contact Mort. Best of luck to both clubs the weekend. Once again, I hope no walk do it. Have to get the final word. That
Is there
much I
any
think
other
right
games
now.
running in Carlow's? Everything off?
Everything's off, I think.
No,
Oh, no, we're playing East in the morning. Sure, in
Yeah.
the
Pats and
Carlow
Hanover,
Cup
the semi-final
semi-final.
of the Carlow Cup.
Early.
11
11
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah. First, the
And
big,
you walked in as playing the other semi-final on the Wednesday against Felix.
big
Yeah, the
first-
walk
big
have
first
Wednesday,
division
Sunday,
games on.
Wednesday.
Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday.
Felix will be home
Sunday,
for the
Wednesday,
walk win,
Sunday.
wouldn't
Felix will be hoping when you walk in.
Felix
yeah.
are on a crest of a wave, lad.
They're
They
good,
get,
yeah,
they
they're
get
good
past
side.
some trimming in the first division cup final Saturday night.
See that there, 4-1, is it?
5.
Five.
they? Five. They're a
Yeah.
good. They're a good
We'll
side.
fight till a half time.
Can you see him? Can you see him challenging the next few years?
Next
Queer
few
big
years,
step.
yeah.
Queer big step to go in and challenge.
Early yet, is it?
They definitely have the players. I don't know if they can adapt to the Premier. It's a different game.
It is a
Premier.
big. It is a big jump.
Yeah.
And lads don't realise.
Well, if they don't realise it's not a jump, they're in trouble, eh?
Yeah.
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 I think that's what happened.
But I
to
think they will, and I think Pete is level. He's grounded, like he's a level-headed, and he'll get them fitter down the world.
like
this
the
year.
things that work in the lower
And
division.
I
Don't
think playing in the Premier will suit them a little bit better because they're a good football inside.
Yeah.
And you get to play a little bit more in the Premier than doing the first division.
But you make that mistake, you're punished nearly.
Oh, you do,
9.5
yeah.
times out of
Is
10.
Pete still playing over 35s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Played against him there about
Good
2 or
player.
3 years ago. with
The
Felix,
over
so-
35, very competitive, isn't
Ah,
it?
it's
3
brilliant.
divisions in Carlow.
Brilliant.
Over
Absolutely
35s?
brilliant. One of the best teams. One of the best
There was
teams ever
7
got
in.
involved in.
Yeah, I remember you
there was
talking
7 in
about that.
the first in the Premier, but I think Bridge pulled over.
Yeah, they did. They couldn't get lads to commit.
Could not get lads
And
there.
like,
Oh,
is
no.
it's competitive, like?
Oh, yeah.
it is, yeah.
Oh, it is,
I'll tell you a
Jesus, it
story.
is.
That's why I got back involved at Pats.
Right.
To start the 35s, and I went in, I was Pop signed, and I went in, I was trained and management, whatever you want to call it. And we played Ballinglass in the very first game. We went out Ballinglass setting a low block with midfield and the Diamond
Remember
midfield.
that, yeah.
They scored at 5 minutes and they sat in. Couldn't break them down. They were unbelievable.
Tell you
Just
what,
sat in, flooded the midfield, fullbacks really narrow, and played with a screen. Like nearly 2 screens with Iser. What's going on here?
no Egypt's played 35.
Scored the last minute
No,
and threw
what
on
is.
all.
It's all
Man. Because it's lads that
They've all
played.
played.
Yeah.
They've all played the game.
And what's
There's all
the...
shapes
That-
and sizes,
that,
but everyone can play.
They all can
That
play.
again,
Yeah.
the Plots 2 or 3 weeks ago, the B team were heading for a cup quarter final.
Aye.
So they played at 35. It was only back first week back training or second week back training against the B team. Couldn't touch them.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was
it's a
just
different-
keeping the ball. It was just simple. little
So
things.
The Hanover team's a lovely team as well.
And,
you know,
the level of it, it's not. It's more about football out and running.
It's roll on, roll
sure,
off.
it's
Oh, it
roll on,
is.
roll
the
off.
ball doesn't get tired, is it?
No, true.
The only thing that lets it down is you'd want to sign about 40 players.
You would,
You
yeah.
were saying this, yeah, you were
yeah.
saying this.
That's the only thing that lets it down
You have
because you
to.
never have the same 11 lads. I know, and look,
Yeah, but
lads are
you-
married.
Crittiyard
and
probably
things
got
and-
caught, I'd say, at the weekend. Like, they didn't, like, Hanover deserved to beat Crittiyard at the weekend. But it was a penalty they decided and Kite buried it. But in regards to the game, it was all Hanover.
Right,
They
okay.
were a better team. They had chances as well, but you only had 14 players and one of them wasn't there.
Right.
A warm evening where Hanover's running lads
Just-
in and
Yeah,
out,
that
in
was
and
it,
out, in and out. It's a big difference at that.
And but is it pure enjoyment?
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Brilliant.
It's serious.
But it's,
It is very
competitive
serious,
on the
yeah,
field,
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Like we played G. Did you play against us in Pats in the Carlow Cup semi-final? I bet you 3-2. Barco played.
Yeah.
That was some game of soccer.
No, I didn't play that night.
No, you
I
weren't
didn't
there.
play
was
that
a
night.
Saturday,
No,
was
I
it
was
not?
watching. I was watching that actually.
That
yeah.
was some game of soccer.
Played the one in
Was a cracker,
Bridge.
yeah.
We bet you by 8-0 there, Ari.
I wasn't involved that time.
He never lost a game in his life. He never lost a game in his life.
That was the one Jono just reached out, caught one by his hand and just pulled it back, and the ref never gave it a penalty. And there was a picture.
Jono.
Oh, was
there was a
it?
picture of just the hand going out, catching the ball, pulling it back, and everything. It's brilliant.
Yeah, my friend was in goal for Pats. One was in goal for Pats. I think that night. He wasn't very happy after. But
And is it all over the country or?
Leinster, speaking
Yeah.
of
massive.
Leinster.
I reckon it's going to be
See,
a
the
45.
thing about you playing Carlow, or Kilkenny, is 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Dublin play 40. And that 10 minutes is some difference at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's not in Kilkenny at all, is it?
No.
Oh, jeez,
no,
we can
Kilkenny
barely have a
teams go
Premier
out.
Division.
Evergreen.
We have a 35th division.
Evergreen, Highview, Bridge have all had teams. Highview are the only
Yeah.
team to have a team
Would
this year.
you recommend it, like, for
100%, yeah.
for Kilkenny, like?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There should be a team
Definitely.
of Kilkenny in it, yeah.
But you're,
But Bunclody is in the Premier Division.
if you
First
look
time in.
around,
Carnew.
Carlow was in the second division now. They were Premier for the last 2
Yeah.
years. Won it 2 years ago.
Wow.
all the divisions in Kilkenny, you look around any of them, like any teams that are usually doing well in most of the divisions have older lads on them that are old enough to play 35s. Like.
And do you have a night out down here now?
No.
Oh, that's
I think
But you
it's
get a choice. If it's
a
either,
kibosh.
it's either 7 o'clock on a Saturday, 7 o'clock on a Friday, or 5 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
for the over 35.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the choice you're getting. So
That's
it's up
grass.
to the home
Summer.
team.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can get away with wearing runners, being honest.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the Astro runners, the pitch is a bit hard.
Pitch is hard.
Wow.
Just to show the Pop Lottery, I think he had a bit of a leg break at the weekend. Not a bit of a
joking
one, it's a leg break, yeah. It's
Pop,
bad old
with
tackle and
Felix?
everything. Yeah, with Felix, yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, so
Jesus, Poppy, poor devil.
speedy recovery, yeah.
I like Pop. Nice lad. A great soccer player as well. Jesus, Pop. He's a physio now, right? Where he's doing masseuse physio now.
yeah.
Thanks, Pop, a friend on that note.
That was
Right.
fun, ended.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, yeah.
Oh, you never ended the show.
As
yeah.
always, lads, it's not my podcast.
It's not my, no, Mendon. No, it's my podcast. No, it's not my podcast. It's not our podcast.
It's,
Go ahead.
it's not your podcast.
It's
Don't even know.
Evergreen's
Listen,
podcast.
It is.
It's Carlow Soccer's podcast.
Best
It's
of
your
luck to both
podcast.
teams.
Good
Best of
luck.
luck, lads. Thanks, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Super. Yeah.
No problem at
That's
all.
full time on this week's episode
what
of the
did we
House
go?
of Podcast.
What did we go?
Available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Ampifi. Got a story to tell? A voice that needs to be heard? Get in touch with us here in Ampifi, Carlow Town's professional home for podcasters of all kinds. We can be found on Instagram at Ampifi Podcast Studio. Ampifi, power up your podcast.